I gotta host Danny's channel. What is it? Eazy third.
We live?
Yes, sir.
We are officially live, boy. No, I was making sure that. Oh, hold on, guys.
Live, boy.
Oh, no. Feedback.
Yeah, turn the echo off.
Is that muted for everybody else?
Yeah, it's muted. I gotta host this though real quick. Give me 1 second. If it allows me to.
Camera angles trash.
Is Mike introducing himself and nobody else? Goddamn, bro. This is Mike.
Oh.
Mike, people are like, I'm on here watching.
Hey guys, this is Mike. I'm Mike. I am one part of the Speak Easy Sports channel that you've never seen before, unless you follow me on Twitch. And I'm here with the king himself.
I'm right here. Just
we don't want to sit too close because COVID. You know,
yeah.
We don't want to wear masks. So
6 foot right there.
And with us we have Elias. Say it ain't so, Harish.
Say it ain't so, please.
And we got Chris Jones.
Joe.
Hey, what up, Justin? Justin Joseph.
Hey,
what up, Justin?
Also, click on Justin's comment.
Oh, okay.
Show it, and bam.
Bam.
My man Justin Joseph said, "What up, though?"
Yo.
I told Justin he could do it too if he wanted to. Bro. I'm trying to have people like slide through. Like, if you guys know somebody like want to come on and give the take, like they can slide through. You know what I'm saying? Like,
live, baby. Yeah.
Live, baby. Yeah. This the motherfucking election night madness, baby.
Yes, sir.
Look, so Ghost Nate is on. He's saying, "What's up, boys?"
What up, Ghost?
What up, though? Elias, you want to introduce yourself? And then Chris, you want to introduce yourself? Like, let everybody know, like, what you guys got going on, where you're from, and who you are.
Yeah, you guys know me. It's Elias, Midwest Weekly. I do it weekly. I sounded douchey, but from Metro Detroit. I got my boy Chris Jones over here.
Yeah, I'm Chris. I am 1/3 of the Black Umbrella podcast. Me and two of my best friends, we decided to start a podcast where we talk about the world around us and we just whine and cry and complain about it. I'm also the host of Chris's Corner. Check me out on YouTube. Just type in the Black Umbrella or Chris's Corner and it'll pop up. Just look for the short black.
Hey, actually, Chris's Corner, the Black Umbrella YouTube channel is in the description if you guys are watching on YouTube. If you're not, head over to YouTube and grab that. Make sure you subscribe. Check that shit out. Elias Midwest Weekly. Damn, that's hard for me to say.
Right.
That shit's true.
Who do we think will win the election? Right now, it's looking like Biden.
Headlining Rolling Loud.
Too early for that, man.
I don't know. If he grabs California and Texas, it's a wrap, bro. I don't see,
man. It's Biden 50.5% to 48% right now in Texas. So I know it's a long election. There's only that's 55%. 55% of people voted so far in Texas. So definitely some room to make up there. But give me 1 second. I got to figure out how to host this onto my channel. I don't know if you have hosting available.
Let me say this real quick. If Texas goes blue, I'll chop off my foot and feed it to my dog.
If I was you, I would. Elias, you better chill out. Slow down.
Yeah, I get, bro. But Texas, I don't know, man.
Look here, I don't know. Beto almost won Texas, so I mean, Texas got some blue in it, and it's kind of swinging towards the other way right now.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Wait, you said Beto, like Beto O'Rourke?
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh yeah, but dude, he wanted to take away everyone's guns. Obama did it.
Yeah, if y'all don't stop with that bull false narrative of taking away everybody's
nobody's taking anybody's guns. Hold on, I'm just gonna say this. Hold on. To get rid of this right now, nobody's taking anybody's guns for one thing. Yes, we know Biden is against he's against like the super
assault rifle or whatever.
Fair enough, I get it. Yeah,
and nobody's taking anybody's guns. And then we got all the Trump supporters coming up. Oh, you take my guns, we're gonna have a civil war. Like, shut up. There's no civil war gonna be had. What have you done to prepare for a civil war? For one thing,
it's not just Trump supporters.
It's not just
Trump supporters. It's Democrats. My black Democrat friends, they always tell me they're not.
They don't have to be black Democrats.
Why they gotta be black, Elias? We ain't even 10 minutes in, and Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
As a host, you guys talk.
No, you're good.
4 or 5.
Yeah, that notion that the Democrats are going to take your guns is nothing but a scare tactic. There's nothing that it's a scare tactic that's been. If it was going to happen, it would have happened already.
My bad.
That happens. That happens. So typically, this is what happens, and this is both parties. And first off, I just want to say I'm nonpartisan. I look at facts, and I want whoever's going to be the leader to be our country to be the most fit to be the leader of the country, Republican or not, regardless. So typically, what happens, and Chris said scare tactics, is when that other party doesn't have anything else to fucking say or to help their cause out, they just shit on whatever the most feared thought is, aka gun control or taxes that people that make $30,000 are worried about their taxes going up. Like, it's just silly.
To an extent. I mean, yeah, nobody wants their guns taken away, but I seen it on video, him talking about it, and the thought right there will trigger anybody. Same with both parties, bro. It's like you said,
100%.
Tactics, but in a way, they're kind of like the first step to something horrible. You know what I mean?
Again, that's why we have a system of checks and balances. So, again, I would love to have more than a two-party system, but we don't. Right now, we have a two-party system. And the way this country is divided, guns are not going to be taken away. Because even as I consider myself, I don't call myself a Democrat. However, I tend to find myself leaning more towards the Democrats on most issues. But when it comes to Second Amendment, I lean right on that. I lean far right on that. Like
military,
I don't.
Yeah, the military man, right?
Yeah, but not even before that. Like I'm like, okay, so it's my Second Amendment right to have a gun. Yeah, so then why can't I have a gun? But also the blue left leaning in me is also like, yeah, they say you can have a gun, but they didn't say which ones you can have. So that's where the whole restriction on guns, like I don't have a problem with certain bans. Like there's no reason why Joe Schmo should be walking around with a bazooka. Literally, like for what? Even though that's a bit extreme. But I'm okay with certain bans on certain guns, and if they do certain things, I understand that. Like, however, I am
quick update. Joe Biden's at 119, Trump's at 92.
Okay.
Biden just won New Mexico.
That's all it takes is one state. See, this is gonna be close.
Yeah, this is unpredictable, bro.
But if he gets those two, the way this is setting up, hold on, wait, that's 55 for California, 38, 55 plus 38 is 93, if my math is correct.
Yeah, that's a wrap almost,
So California is a given, but it's like you said, man. This is so unpredictable. It's not even funny.
Right.
Or it's going to be a landslide. Either or.
Yeah.
So,
I think even right now, I think it's too close for it to be a landslide. Because honestly, if Trump somehow takes California, he takes the lead.
Yeah.
It's really one state can swing it. So I would consider a landslide like. Right now, if Trump was to take the whole East Coast and Biden was to get maybe California and like maybe Arkansas and Hawaii, or not Arkansas, Arkansas, Hawaii, Alaska, Arizona, or like those little states who have like 3 or 4 electoral votes. He wins Iowa. Congratulations. Like,
yeah. So Alaska, I think they were red. In 2016, Alaska, Texas, Florida, Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma. No, I'm fucking with you. But
do you think Michigan's going to go red, or do you think Michigan's going to go blue? Right now, only 15% of the votes have been counted.
So it depends. I think it depends heavily on Detroit. So last election, it was red primarily because only I think like 600,000 voters in the city of Detroit out of 2.4 million or something like that voted.
Yeah.
So based on recent events of what's going on in our country, I would hope for everything that all the black voters in the city of Detroit are coming out to vote, or surrounding areas, Wayne County in general, because I think that's going to be a huge difference. And if that happens, I think it's blue 100%. But as it is now, so, obviously we know about the Trump support in the state of Michigan, from like the boat rallies to literally everybody's front lawn to all the
Macomb, Oakland, like they're going.
So, and I live on the border of. I just bought a house on the border of Macomb and St. Clair. So I see it all. And up here, what's that?
Congrats on that, by the way.
Oh, appreciate it. So I'm just south of Algonac in Ira Township, which is like
okay.
So like everything out here, like you'll be like when you see like one Biden Harris sign, you're like, oh, okay, there's like somebody who has wits about them, right?
Boom.
Yeah, and then it's like Trump. So it really depends. I think it really depends on a few of those things. But hold on, Trump just won Wyoming. Wait, how are these already red right now when nothing's
That's
reported?
what I was saying. Like,
Wait, hold on. Are they dark red or are they light red?
Yeah, they're
dark
dark red, but 0% reported. Trump got Wyoming, Nebraska, South
oh
Dakota.
yeah, how does it? There's zero count. Yeah, there's zero. It says zero,
Oh my
zero, zero for
God.
everything.
We're getting frauded right in front of our eyes, people.
Wait.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even call that a fraud because honestly, look
I'm
at those
kidding.
states. I don't see them going.
Yeah, they probably
but
they probably have less than North Dakota probably has less than 2 million registered voters. Because
okay, it updated. There it is. It's updated now.
It's all about the dense cities and the most densely populated places. Those are the places that the electoral votes come from typically.
For sure.
Yeah, it's weird. Michigan, I would say I'm gonna make a bold prediction and say Michigan goes red again. But 2000 it was blue. In 2016 it was red, which was very unpredictable. And now it's either red or blue, and it's kind of up in the air. But I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I say they're going
Red. Okay. I mean,
Michigan,
definitely.
yeah, Michigan going red. But like you said, Mike, I really like how you brought that little fact up because we talked about that on our podcast. How black voters stayed home last time.
Yeah,
they stayed home and Trump ended up winning. If you look, we did the math and like the amount of votes Trump won by had the amount of registered black voters actually showing up and voted. There's a huge likelihood that
it wasn't even that whole amount. It was like if half the black voters would have came out of the city of Detroit, I think, and voted, it would have completely turned the
he won Michigan by 10,000 votes.
Exactly.
It was that close. Like if you just shown up and vote, like your votes really do matter. But I noticed a tactic that through the Republican Party, and it's kind of smart. What you do is you divide the black vote because a lot of black voters be like, I'm not voting for him. I'm not voting for him. Like they're both racist. They're both pedophiles or whatever the accusations they want to throw out there. I'm not voting for either one of them. What are they gonna do for us? I'm gonna sit at home. I'm gonna do nothing. And so that's why people say like a vote for anybody else is a vote for Trump. I mean, because the Republican Party thrives on that. They don't need the black vote. I mean, it will help them out, but they don't need the black vote because they've already counted it as not having it. They already strategized as not having it at all.
Chris, you made a video about that statement Joe Biden made or did when he said, "If you
don't vote for me, you ain't black."
Yeah,
I did a whole Chris's Corner on that one.
Yeah. So I mean, to a point, I want to Danny and Chris. How do you guys feel about that when he said that?
Danny, I'll let you go first.
To be honest, like I never liked Joe Biden for real. Like I knew about I don't remember the exact year. I don't want to sound like a retard and say it, and I apologize for anyone who doesn't like the word retard. But you're good. I don't give a fuck about the camera.
Okay, whatever.
Fuck, see, you made me lose my train of thought. You see?
Okay, go ahead. You don't remember?
No, but I just like they're all like shitty ass people, man. It's all like shady. It's all like fucking disgusting. Like, Mike, did you watch that podcast I sent you with Tim Dillon and Alex Jones on Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Joe Rogan stopped Alex Jones in every single statement he made. He was kind of like almost like he was being an asshole, but he wanted to fact check everything he was saying because he's known for like saying crazy ass shit about like gay frogs and stuff like that in Florida. But they're fact checking like the crazy shit that this man's saying. Literally, like he's throwing like shit at the wall. He was saying like just it sounds like that, right? Where they're fact checking the things that he was saying. Like remember I told you Kamala Harris slept with that Willie Brown, and you're like, no fucking way, bro. Everything this nigga was saying was true, and I was like, there's no way. Like that's like this shit's so fucked up. It's all so fucked up, man. And like when it comes down to like, bro, I go deep on it, bro. I don't want to be like sound like conspiracy theorist or shit like that, but like I hate it all, bro, for real. Like so when he said that shit, I wasn't surprised. I was like, well, he made himself look like an ass. Like
my thing is, I think all right. So I don't know if you thought back to like 2016 where all these politicians do it when it comes to the black vote. They do this whole pandering spree, and Hillary Clinton had the hot sauce in her bag and like all that crap. So I honestly, at first I was offended by it because like Joe Biden was not my first choice. I'm a Bernie bro all day, every day. Like I fucks my boy Bernie.
I was a big Bernie guy too.
Yeah, I wasn't. Bernie was in 2016 and in this election. I was all for Bernie. But that's why I figured it was a joke gone horribly wrong. Because at first I was pissed off by it, and like I recorded my video, and I went off, and then like I actually like went back and I kept watching the interview over and over again, and I'm like, Joe tends to put his foot in his mouth a lot, and I make the joke like a while ago was like somebody tell Joe Biden like we will vote for him if he just shuts up, like do not let that man speak. Like, he will ruin it for himself. Like, just shut up. There's a lot of people who are anti-Trump that will vote for you just because of who you are. Just don't say nothing stupid. Shut up. And with that, I feel like he was trying to make a joke because amongst even growing up out in Macomb, oh, you're not black, you listen to Avril Lavigne, or you're not black because you like Eminem or whatever the hell. Like, so you go to Macomb. Yeah. I think he was trying to make a joke, like a pop culture, like a black community joke that did not go over well. That wasn't really like thought through.
Yeah.
And so I still now think it was in bad taste. I give him cut him a little slack for it. I'm like, Joe, like, I get it, but I'm gonna just give him the benefit of the doubt only because, like, again, I take it when they go on the breakfast, when these politicians go on the Breakfast Club, they tend to say some outlandish things and some things to win the black vote.
Yeah, crazy shit, bro.
And I blame Charlemagne too, because Charlemagne tends to bring out things.
Charlemagne does his job very, very, very well.
In terms of just picking.
Charlemagne's an asshole.
I just want to read it real quick because I like the listeners to feel engaged. My man Luke Alexander Kelly is actually Canadian. That's my boy. Has the Empire podcast. Shout out to him. He said, "Not even American, but can't put up with goof for another 4 years. Trump looks down on minorities, women, people with disabilities. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. He lies about pretty much everything. He has fired anyone who has challenged him. Real shit lies though. And trust me, bro. I believe you, and that's why I wanted to be the host of this because like." Like I am truly like bipartisan. Like this shit I like about the left and the right, and I truly feel like policy wise, like Trump hasn't been that bad, but as a leader of the fucking country, this guy's out of pocket, bro. He's saying like some crazy ass shit all the time, and out like when he didn't like, straight out like flat out condemn racism, and I was like kind of like.
And Elias is going to say he has in the past.
Hold on, let me talk. See, but like when. Like I don't know, bro. I like was kind of like I fucked with him a little bit. Like I didn't like hate him necessarily, but then when that shit happened, I was like, "What are you fucking doing, bro? Like you're the leader of the fucking country. Bro. Like you have so much influence on these kids that are in the basement, these fucking losers, and all these alt-right and ISIS groups are hitting them up, and like then you say some shit like that, bro. Like just you're being dumb, bro, and careless, and like there's no way you didn't hear. I know it's two questions, right? I gave him that excuse for it too, but like you heard that shit, and if you didn't, you're a fucking idiot. And you should not be the leader. Like
yeah.
So what Elias?
Yeah, Elias talk. My bad.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
So you go ahead, Elias, and then I have a question just for everybody in general.
Actually, real quick, Elias, can I ask you this? What would be your reaction if he lost? I just want to know.
You know what, man? I thought about it long and hard, and honest to God, man, I can't even picture him losing. But I will say this: if he does, he does. And you know what? There's a lot I could say on that, but we got to get a little bit more heated so I can just say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You get
real.
Speaking of truth, King.
I never taught politics. It's crazy shit. It's crazy that I'm even doing this.
So, Elias, do you want to touch on what Danny said or no?
Yeah. Where did we leave off on, Danny? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I apologize.
So he was basically just talking about the standby good boys or whatever the fuck you said.
Stand down and stand by or.
Yeah, I didn't like that comment he made, but in all fairness, I feel like there's a bunch of reporters asking him questions at the same time. Regardless, he shouldn't have said that. I feel like he says some outlandish shit like a lot, you know what I mean? But they've also been after him for the past 4 years. And they used to for that. He's a very smart man in terms of staying controversial for business. Any controversy to him is good controversy, you know? And maybe that's not how it's supposed to be, but we've never had anyone that's really not a politician in office. So it's kind of a change of culture in a way as well. You know what I mean?
He's like
let me just say this for a minute because you said like they've been after him for 4 years. And this is something I've been wanting to say for the longest. If you go back and you look, the media treated Trump just like they did every other candidate and every other president until he started attacking them. CNN especially. Because people can't say CNN is biased because you can go back and find how CNN made a big deal over every little thing Obama did as well. Like even at the what is that, the news, whatever ball that is, they have like all the journalists come in or whatever, and Obama goes up there and does his stand up. He went off on Fox News, he went off on CNN because they all treated Obama the same. It didn't turn into this whole the media's against me thing until Trump, who was like victims mentality, like 101. Turned everything. He attacked them, and then when they attacked back, everybody's against him.
The media is so damn against Trump. It's crazy. It's so blatantly.
Well, no, there's blue news and there's red news, and of course, either side.
Even when he first came out,
there definitely is. But he provoked this. My thing is, you provoked this. They were treating you just like they treated everybody else until you attacked them.
They were salty because like he wasn't their pony boy. and that they're mad about it, bro. Like that's for like the media fucking hate him. They try. That's why they throw his name in the mud, but he's still like the news. You know what I'm saying? Like he's all media trash, bro. I can't. That's undeniable, bro. I can't say that.
You're right. All media is trash right now, and we need a reform of media across the board in terms of social media and our news. But I just want to say this: a lot of people don't realize, because I've been following this for years. Trump and the CEO of CNN, the executive producer, they worked together on The Apprentice. Trump asked him for a raise, and he quit, and then he became the new executive producer of CNN. But on MSNBC, they worked together, and they've had beef for years. And CNN and all the other channels, they all lean more left. And we used to get news, we used to get the facts, and now it's just bias, which is a problem.
See, I think the issue is not with the media, it's with Americans. We have a hard time now deciphering what's fact and what's opinion. Because yes, of course,
I wouldn't say it's a hard time deciphering. I think it's a hard time. So, for example, and I'll let you finish, Chris. But like, for example, just like let's say Facebook, for example, like these people are just sharing. They see anything that looks somewhat real, whether it's Photoshop, whether it's not. Somebody just typed a fake BS website in, and it's shooting down Trump, it's shooting down Biden, shooting down Bernie, whatever the case is. I guarantee, in my opinion, I think social media is the biggest news outlet that we have in our country right now. Tenfold.
Absolutely is, bro.
And I think a lot of it has to do with all the fake shit that circulates Facebook that has people so convinced one way or another.
But again, that goes back to me saying people don't decipher what's opinion and what's fact, because you see a meme, all right, cool. You see a meme and you take it as fact, that's your fault. Do your research. It takes, honestly, when I see something before I share something, that whether it be like fact or if it's like something political, that it's sometimes the memes are true. I'll go search it. I'll go research it before I retweet it or before I share it on Facebook, because the last thing I want to do is be corrected. I cannot stand it when I'm corrected on my statuses. I cannot.
I agree completely. And here's the problem. Here's where we all fucked up as a nation, man. And not us, but like what's going on, I guess. Who's fact checking the fact checkers?
That's a great question.
You know what? We are. I'm gonna tell you why. Everything Trump says, everything that's done, it's all public record. You can go on YouTube and pull up the actual live footage of it. So majority of the time, it's us. We do our research and we do our due diligence. We can fact check this stuff. It's out there. Like once something is out there, it's out there. You can easily find it.
Right, but it's going to lead you into a circle of webs of truth and lies until you go to Snopes or until you go to one of these sites and they say, fact checked by independent fact checkers, and then you stop. It just stops right there, and you're like, oh, okay. Well, like, who the fuck are they?
But some of this stuff you also can go back and research. Like, all right, so we talked about the whole Kamala Harris and was it Doodoo Brown or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
So that whole situation, you can go back and fact check. I mean, there's news articles, there's press releases. Like you can go back and check the timeline on that type of stuff.
Right.
So you want to spend the time on the research, actually doing all that, because it's gonna be tedious. It's gonna be, and that's the problem. We're lazy. We don't want to do all that. We see a meme like, yeah, that looks right. All right, share it, fine, fuck it, and then go to sleep. I myself have done that a couple times. I wake up and hurry up and delete it.
Hell yeah, bro! I see so many. I see so much on my phone, but people don't know what we're talking about too. Before we went live, this is a fact too, or you can check it out on Snopes. I ain't gonna speak on everything in fact, but your girl Kamala Harris, she kind of fine, you know what I'm saying? And she slept around with another senator, his name Willie Brown. We looked it up on Snopes.
Okay, Clinton did the same thing. I don't want to hear it, dude. Clinton cheated.
No, the thing is, it's all about context. It's all about context and timeline, because that whole situation, she dated him before all that. They were actually in a relationship. Like, it's all about how you take stuff and spin it and put it all together.
Consensual.
My man was married.
He was estranged from his wife for 10 years. See, that's right there is fake news. So you take the facts and then you spin it the way that you want to spin it to.
It's not fake news.
We don't know if they slept together. We don't know. At the end of the day, we don't know. So here, this is what I want to talk about, because I think this is gonna get heated with Elias here after the fact, because I just want to hear what he has to say.
You gonna be picking on Elias?
No, I'm not picking. I have to. He's the only
Don't back down, Elias.
No, it's not even that Elias.
It's just I don't never back down.
No, in general.
Elias takes off his shirt.
So look, guys. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about qualities, and this is just in general. I want to talk about qualities in a leader, in leadership, whether it's corporate America, whether it's sales, whatever the case is. I want to know what you think major qualities are of a leader in general, whether it's a
Major
captain.
qualities of a leader.
Yep.
You got to be an alpha male for this country, man. You have to. You got to be.
No,
the
I'm not talking
commander
about.
in chief.
I'm not talking about presidency, Elias. I'm just talking about in general.
In general, you gotta.
What does it take to be a leader, a successful leader? Hey, shout out to Jake Harris.
Right, Jake, get out the room.
Jakey H in the house.
Ghost Nate said Biden said he was married to Biden.
I mean, technically, that's not a lie.
So,
Yeah.
So what'd you ask? What does it take?
So I want to know, in your opinion, what are qualities of a great leader, regardless if it's in work, if whatever the case is, just to be a leader in general. What are those qualities?
And you need to take the initiative to get to a point where you got everything figured out in terms of strategy, game plan, what to do, how to run things. There's a lot that goes into it, man. But really, it's about knowing what to do when the time comes and the time is right, in my opinion. And just, standing up for what's right. That's what I would say. My answer is.
Okay. Chris, what about you?
For me, I think a leader should be someone who is not just a do as I do, not just a do as I say type person. Someone who's fond of accountability, who holds people accountable, not to the same standard that they hold themselves. Someone who also is not afraid to make the hard decision. Sometimes the best decision is the one that's going to hurt everybody, but in the long run, it'll pay off. It'll work out. Someone who values hard work, who isn't self-serving. That's the word I'm looking for. Someone who isn't self-serving, who just builds themselves up off the work that the others are doing. It's hard to find people like that. It definitely is.
I agree.
Jocko Willing for president.
All right. So qualities of a leader, I want to touch on it. So I'm just going to point out a few things. So I think self-awareness is a huge thing, because without self-awareness, you're just going to look like a fool, right? Integrity, which Elias touched on, doing the right thing, at all times. I think so. Self-awareness, integrity, honesty, and transparency go hand in hand in two things, right? Elias also touched on being able to get things done when it needs to get done. So being able to pivot and transition and make those tough decisions, for sure. Chris touched on a lot of great things. So out of all of those qualities, how many does Donald Trump hold? Not a damn one. Not one.
No.
Not
true, dude. Trump. I'm not going to talk about morals in terms of his speech and his tweeting and all that stuff. But what the dude's been doing in terms of standing up for the country when it's needed most, he has some balls. And somebody needs to give him props for that, man.
You mean stand up to another country for us? Is that what you mean by that?
Dude, he's standing up for our country, and he's standing up for
in what ways?
Other countries taking advantage of us, in my opinion.
No, in what ways is he standing up for our country currently?
Dude, what he did with NATO, I mean, did you see him at the NATO meeting? How much money he got back for us from the past couple of years? We're protecting NATO against Russia, and Germany is getting all of their gas and oil from Russia. And they're not paying.
Okay, so energy resources aside, what is Trump doing to stand up for our country? I mean, and during these times.
I mean, dude, you think about it, man. How many people get addicted to drugs in this country? And when you think about the southern border, it's controversial. But at the end of the day, how much money he's paying from ICE?
I want you to touch on this, because I got something for that ass, boy.
I'm curious as to where this is about to go, because now I'm loving it.
I'll bring that hot sauce, bro. But
so southern border. You want to talk about southern border, about all this credit that he's talking about?
Sure.
The amount of people getting across the border has gone up 35% in the last 3 years compared to other years.
Well,
facts for one thing.
Talking about Chris. Hit Snopes while Elias is talking. Hit Snopes on that one while Elias is talking.
That's all over the place. For one thing. So I don't, and that's one thing, but one thing I just wanted to what I was getting at, Elias, is out of all the controversial stuff that's been going on with the police and with Black Lives Matter, with Antifa, with all the white supremacy and stuff like that, he is, in my opinion, he has been he's been there, you could see his face and he's talking about the issues, but nothing has been done, nothing has been resolved. And for example, in the Breonna Taylor case, for example, in the George Floyd case with the cop posting $1 million bond somehow.
Or the Kyle
giving-
Rittenhouse.
So, and that's what I was getting. I understand he's doing a lot, and presidents in the past have done a lot for the country as far as natural resources and protecting us from other people. Yes, in my opinion, I think he has done a good job just maintaining relationships with foreign powerhouses. And of course, like, he takes credit for everything literally in the world. Like, this man cannot say like somebody could literally like pay for him and his wife's dinner, and he'd be like, I just paid a fortune for this dinner.
That's Trump, bro. That's just fucking Trump, man.
So like I get it, but that's where I was getting at with that.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean,
Fact check.
hit him with the fact
Let's
check.
do this. Like, yeah, it's like
No.
let's fact check.
One second.
We got 7 people to fact check us. Call us out if they're talking shit and don't add up, don't make sense. Like, root for your team, bro. Like I really want fact checks on this shit. Like, I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want because I was obviously planning
Hey, a real question. How's the vaccine going that Trump promised us?
So look, see, this nigga keeps interrupting. I originally wanted to moderate, right? So it's kind of fair because this nigga Mike's going off the hand, just attack this nigga Elias.
All right.
So people, if you're
I'm
listening,
not attacking Elias.
chill out, shut the hell up.
I'm
Look,
not a
people,
crook.
listen, fact check the shit he's saying. Don't let Elias get beat up.
Hey, fact check.
Elias says same shit, everybody.
Hold me
Like-
accountable because I don't want to say anything misleading to the
And Mike too, though. I'm saying everybody. Hold everybody accountable. Like, hit a tab over. You know what I'm saying? Hit that Snopes.com. Type in did more people get across the border like in these past 4 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just wanted to, Mike, just take it easy on Elias, bro.
So,
Damn.
I'm not trying to go at Elias.
For
No,
this
dude,
year, honestly,
He's
as
crying,
I'm looking
bro.
at this
Yeah.
Southwest Border Migration, this is from the Border Patrol website. Looking at this chart. Yeah, Mikey. No, yeah, Mike's right. Man, yeah, in total apprehensions in 2019, it was over. Damn, it was in between 130 and 150,000.
But why is that? Why is that the narrative number one in terms of? I mean, how do we know it's not the parts that the wall's not done yet? Maybe that's what they're talking
Well,
about.
the wall should be done. He promised it 4 years ago.
Well, they're still building it. They're not done yet.
He did. He was
Well, he needs what he should have done is said, hey, I got it. Mexico, look at this. I have a huge job that needs to be done on our states.
No, say huge.
We'll pay you $10.99, so you have to pay your taxes back
Huge.
on a work visa, and then tens of thousands of Mexicans would have came over and did that work for us. It would have been done in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
Where do we go?
I'm
from here?
being serious.
Damn. No, I know. I get what you're saying, bro. But at the end of the day, man, you got to think about this. From a fiscal standpoint, it does not make sense. And I don't care who you are. If you do the math, if you're paying an X amount of money to the people from ICE to guard the border, and you could just build a wall one time, and you're preventing the people, because it's like Trump said, bro. I don't like what I'll tell you this much. The people that are coming over from the border are not the best people. I'm not calling them names, but I mean, if you guys tried sneaking into Canada and bringing drugs or doing something illegal like that,
Sure.
or
We're
just
gonna
having
get-
bad intentions, it's not legal.
Yeah.
And you can't be a country without
But it's not
borders.
only. It's not only
wait. I'm gonna
It's not
stop you
only
there
Mexico.
because that prove that.
Hold on,
The
guys,
people
real quick.
speaking are not-
Quick update. 122 to 92 Biden.
Okay.
All right, so prove that, Elias. You said the best people coming over are not the best people. However, there are children and women sitting in detention centers at the border right now.
Not only Mexican
So,
either. A lot of
right.
Arabic.
It's,
A lot of Arabic, a lot
you
of-
say Mexican, but let's it's not from Mexico. Some of them are from Venezuela. Look at
Right.
what's going on down in South America. We can't sit here and say, "Oh, there is not the best people." What do you mean by in terms of not the best people?
Hey, Chris, if you tried going to Canada with your son right now, would they kick you out?
Yes, Canada is close to the United States. Unless you're an essential worker, unless you live there. So yes, they would kick me out.
They'd kick you out because you can't be a country without borders. And from a legal standpoint, you're right. There's a giant vacuum of people coming in from Mexico trying to sneak up.
Listen, I'm okay. I'm okay with that point that you made. However, you said that the people coming over are not the best people. So my thing is,
not.
I'm not checking that. Prove it.
They're not.
Where do you get that from? Is it just the Trump or what's
They're
the
not the
difference?
best people because when you break the law before you step into somebody's country, you don't respect their country.
Hey, Elias, have you ever went over to Canada and broke the speed limit?
No.
You drove the speed limit every time. You know all the laws in Canada because I'm pretty sure at one point you probably jaywalked. Therefore, you are not the best person when you go over to Canada. Don't go to Canada more. You illegal mother.
Chris, listen, I'm just saying, bro. There's a door between the two countries, man. And if you come in legally, that's one thing, man.
You know
America
you
needs
know the legal process to get into America, right? You know legal process. You know how long that takes and how much money that takes.
I mean,
they're
they
coming from. They don't have that time.
Chris, they changed it. It's merits. You come in on merits now, bro. We want the merits are just the good people that we want in our country, man.
You do know that under Trump we've had the lowest influx of refugees, not illegals, refugees. Those are people who are legally coming over. See, and that's the thing. They claim they're all illegals coming here. No. They're coming here applying for asylum, which makes them refugees, which makes them legal. And he shut that shit down too. Let's get the facts straight.
Chris, you're right. There is asylum and refugees could come here if they need it. Okay, I get it. But on the other hand, why are Democratic leaders trying to give all of our money before they take care of the homeless people to people that aren't even here legally? I'm an Arab, bro.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the Dream Act?
What'd you say?
Are you talking about the Dream Act? Is that what you're referring to? The Dream Act?
No.
So you're giving money to people who are here illegally.
I'm not talking about the Dream Act. What I'm talking about is when these people, like California, for example, let's take a sanctuary city. You got a bunch of illegal people there, right? There now, right? And when you think about the United States and the numbers that we need to have to function as a country, and you think about the money and the healthcare we're giving to people that shouldn't be here to begin with. I mean, dude, before we take care of our homeless people, if you go to California and you go to Los Angeles, any of the big cities over there, the dense ones, they're literally ruining that state, bro.
How are they ruining that state? By doing what? By how economically? You're saying?
Not so much. It's economically, but when you do something like take care of people that are here illegally because of asylum, for example, before you take care of your own country's people, and those homeless people could be Mexican for all I know. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this. Let me bring this to your attention because you make that's a very valid point. However, when you talk about how we don't do anything for homeless, but you have cities like San Francisco or like in Colorado or like in New York where they actually they actually create laws that actually hurt homeless people instead of giving them help. Exactly. They actually make it. There's a video on Twitter. Some dude got arrested for giving haircuts to the homeless. Like let's sit here. Let's not.
So can I touch on the homeless?
Yes.
So just to sprinkle in a little knowledge here. What ethnicity do you think has the highest homeless rate in the country?
White.
And how much? What do you think percentage is that?
Like 7%.
I'm going to go on a limb and say it's about. I would say 35.
It's 49%. What's the next highest?
Black.
Hispanic.
Black at 40%.
Damn.
Hispanic is at 22%. So the narrative of illegal Hispanics coming in that are homeless and ruining economies, I don't think can be necessarily that true. And typically, and Elias, I know you've been to California, right?
I never said that. No, I've done deals in California.
Okay, have you been to like LA or like that area?
No.
So the homeless people there typically, and to be completely honest with you, and I think this is why Biden's going to win pretty much all the West Coast, is a lot of those people that move out there, like go there with no ambitions, or worst case scenario, I can be homeless because it's California, it's 65 degrees, and I can figure it out, right? So if you go to like death row, for example, where all the heroin addicts, crack addicts, it's just a bunch of white people that move from the Midwest and the East Coast to LA to live their dream out, or to just move to LA. Like I've literally met people who want to go to Hawaii to literally like live in a tent and be homeless, to like live out that life.
A lot of people are moving out of those places because it's ruining.
I think there's different factors now.
To be fair though, so looking at those stats, the Elias' argument, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, is those are documented homeless people. Like these are legal people coming over.
That's what I'm talking about, legal people.
So that, like that, I'm saying, to be fair, I'm just saying, like,
No, you're
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
because I thought we were talking about undocumented immigrants. We're talking about like how we undocumented that are helping out the homeless that we have here, which I'm looking at from when I just researched, when I just pulled up. Just because they're undocumented doesn't mean that all the money that they get and like they don't help out the economy. Because right now, I know this for a while, but I know exactly what it is. Undocumented people can apply for what they call TLN, where it's not a security number, but they get taxed off of the money that they earn.
Like a tax ID, basically.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
exactly.
they've committed or they've contributed $13 billion into Social Security, which they will never be able to touch. So all those stimulus checks that people got, or the payroll tax that Trump just cut out, they pay into that. They pay 13. To me, 13 billion is a huge ass number.
And you're saying they're not getting anything back from it?
They're not gonna. They can't apply for Social Security. You need a Social Security number to get Social Security.
Right.
But because they have a TLN, they're getting taxed on it. They're paying into it, but they will never be able to touch it.
Yeah, and I feel like I have a lot of friends that are from like Mexico or just Spanish in general, speak Spanish. They're from that heritage. And at the end of the day, man, I mean, there's some of them are the best people I ever met. I have worked with some that are here illegally, and one of them got kicked out. One of them went to prison, and this was a while ago. But all I was trying to say is, if we can't take care of our people first, we shouldn't have to pay for people that are here undocumented or illegally, just because it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't, because we can kill two birds with one stone. We can handle more than one thing. If we can fight multiple wars on multiple fronts at the same time, we can take care of illegal people and we can take care of the ones that we have here at the same time. There's no difference. We handle multiple issues as this going on at the same time. You don't need to pick one or the other. If we want to,
I agree. I agree with you.
I mean, and to be honest with you, we've done as a country, like historically, we've done a terrible job helping out our less fortunate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, like food stamp benefits, WIC, unemployment, like all those things are like great benefits. But at the end of the day, like there's so many flaws in our system to where so many people are abusing that. That like if they can't fix a system that's already been in place from like a SNAP benefit standpoint, there's no way they're gonna be able to fix anything else, in my opinion.
I think, no, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just saying, like they've done an okay job, like I wouldn't even say okay, like very, very subpar job of verifying that kind of stuff, whether it be employment, income, because a lot of these people are working under for example, if you're getting food stamps, I'm sure there's a ton of people doing side jobs, making extra cash, getting $1,000 a month in food stamps. Like, in our system's just okay with it and abusing the system for years. They don't really go back in and reinvestigate, so that money can be dispersed elsewhere for people who actually need it, who are homeless. And in my opinion, so do you guys know? There's a homeless guy that's been at the Chesterfield Walmart in front of the Walmart at Hall Road 94 for probably 3-4 years.
Oh, he's the panhandle.
Does he have the dog?
He has the dog.
Okay.
This man, for whatever reason, he's been offered dozens of jobs. He's been offered all this stuff, but for some reason, I don't know what it is. I've never talked to him, and after hearing that kind of stuff, I've kind of just like steered away caring about the guy because I don't truly know what the issue is. And I know some girls who used to give him free haircuts, and ever since he turned on these jobs, they stopped giving him free haircuts. So like that's the kind of stuff we can't like. He lives in like a van or something or a hotel. But like there's no way for us as a government or society to understand who's just lazy and doesn't want to work and wants to take advantage of the system and who truly needs the help, whether it be like a mental disability, a physical disability, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's always going to be a huge flaw in that system that nobody's ever going to be able to fix.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's completely true. Like, I mean, you're never going to know. Like, look at the unemployment stuff. That just now all these people getting arrested because they didn't.
You saw a couple, right?
Yes, they were
$2.7 million.
It was 7 mil.
2.7 mil, I think. Yeah,
bro. Or it's a dude. We actually just talked about this on the podcast. Me, Dibs, and CWAP. We were talking about it's this dude called Duke Nizzle or Nuke Bizzle or something like that out in California. Mm-hmm. He what he did was he stole a bunch of people's identities and filed for the unemployment stuff in their name and got it all shipped to his address. He's like some upcoming rapper. I think he got like 1.2 mil. He got. Hey guys, quick update. Now they got him. They got me.
Biden's at 131. Trump is still at 92. Biden just won Colorado.
I want to point out something that's very interesting, and if Biden wins, I want to point this out because Texas is karma at its best. Take a look at the popular vote right now.
The popular vote is at Donald Trump's ahead by about roughly 1 million.
I want and pay attention to that because if Trump loses and he wins the popular vote, that is poetry. Because watch, he's gonna complain about
That's what
that,
happened
but
to
you won't
Hillary.
complain about that
Hillary
shit in
won the popular vote.
2016, though. Like,
Yep.
2016 was a mind fuck. Till this day, nobody thought he was gonna win.
Quick
the thing
update.
is,
Quick
and that's
update. I'm just
what
gonna share my screen
one
real quick.
person who should have played it like he was gonna win didn't, and that's why they lost. Hillary didn't even campaign in Wisconsin towards the end. She
Yeah, bro.
ignored certain voters, and she lost key states because of that. Arrogance will get you every time. Honestly, I don't even care if she lost or not, because I mean,
So Florida's going to be red.
oh, big surprise there.
91% reported.
Texas flipped red.
Yeah, by
by 0.5. Oh, that's gonna be close. You know what? It's ironic though, because I was just watching something the other day where the Texas GOP tried to get 100,000 ballots cast out.
Wait,
and
what?
They lost that in court.
Really?
Yeah. It was something, I think it was a county clerk, or they was like early mail-in ballots, something like that, and he tried to get them thrown out. And the state, Florida, it was a Supreme Court judge, I believe it was. It's like, nah, bro, gotta count those bad boys.
Yeah.
I know this is only a certain party who's always trying to get votes tossed out, but I'm gonna just
keep moving. Man, the Democratic Party.
Right.
Just playing.
Want me to fact check you? Fact check you on that one, or you just gonna put a JK after that?
Bye.
All right. So one thing I do want to touch on that's obviously been super, super, super popular in the year 2020 is COVID. I guess I'll open it to Elias first. What are your thoughts on COVID? How the president's handled, how the government's handled COVID, and going forward with all the promises and all the broken promises, all that kind of stuff?
Can you pull that screen back up really quick?
Which one?
The one that could you go to a website and pull up a screen real quick?
Yeah, which screen?
Just go to Event 201 on Google.
Event 201?
Event 201. And I think this is interesting for all of our viewers to see.
Center for Health Society.org?
It should be the center. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So back in October, they did a pandemic exercise. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Bloomberg, and
can you see my screen, Elias? Right?
Now I can. Yep, exactly. Okay. So this happened in October of 2019. They simulated the coronavirus in October, and what wound up happening is they simulated it to a point where you could click on videos on there, and they go through everything that they would do in a pandemic, and everything happened a couple months later. And it's so in depth of what's going on right now. It's insane. It's all real. It's all there. So they predicted this coming. I personally think one of two things happened. One, it was an honest mistake. It was a virus from a bat in China, whatever. Or number two, they released it to stop Trump. And I'm just being real as fuck right now.
So let me question you on that. So did they know that he was going to respond the way that he responded? Because my whole issue is with this whole COVID thing, and we talk about who's at fault. We don't talk enough about the United States response. And the thing is, if you watch the Borat documentary, or it's technically it's a documentary. They have Pence speaking at the CPAC convention. He says, we've only got one case and we got 4 and blah blah. It won't be no more. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
However, we had 200 some plus deaths later. So are you saying that they knew that Trump would do what he did in the government's response to that? Because I remember early on, states had to basically beg the federal government to stop outbidding them for PPE.
Right. No, I mean, here's my opinion on it, man. I mean, at the end of the day, Event 201, it was, the coronavirus has always been real. It has been, changing over time. But I mean, these people have been working on I don't trust Bill Gates' vaccine, by the way. I'll trust a different vaccine. One made by Bill Gates, I won't trust at all. But what was your question in particular? I'm sorry.
Are you saying that they did it on purpose because they knew how Trump was going to respond to it?
That could very well be the case, man. And it's one of those things where like everybody was involved. Like Johnson & Johnson, the head of Johnson & Johnson was at event. Google, Microsoft, all these like.
Elias, I have a question about this because I don't know anything about this Event 201. When was this held in part of they knew about this was before Corona, or this was like at the start of Corona to prepare?
So they knew. So like they knew this shit was coming, bro. They knew it was coming. We didn't know
Yeah.
when.
So this was on October 18, 2019. When were the first cases of corona in China released?
December, I believe it was December or January.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I was curious.
one of the most interesting things about Event 201 is they're working with CNN on it and a couple other channels. I'm telling you guys, it's the most interesting thing, and it will literally blow your fucking mind.
I'll definitely have to look into this because I have no idea what this is at all.
It's gonna trip people out once they find out, but it's something you should definitely research on your own and check out. You see the bottom where it says Open Philanthropy Project? You were just there.
Yeah. Event 201 was supported by Funded the Open. Yeah.
Yeah, look into that too when you're done. It's very.
I'm just gonna check something. Event.
You guys ever see the Eddie Bravo look into it memes?
Yeah, I did actually. That shit's hilarious, bro.
That's Elias right now. Just look into it.
Look into it, man.
I fact checked the first reported case of coronavirus was December 31st, 2019.
Okay, so this was 2 months, a little over 2 months.
A little bit over 2 months after, and then a lot of people don't talk about this, especially because the only way we could live in this country is if we have a bipartisanship, man. And one thing I think people need to agree on is, in terms of our news, it needs reform. But Mike Bloomberg and George Soros, George Soros is the biggest philanthropist out there. He funds all of his money to the DNC, Black Lives Matter, whatever it is. And he's a globalist, bro. It's no secret. If you watch his videos, look it up, man. But basically, when you think about these dudes that are funding all of these projects that aren't helping us as a country, because, dude, you guys see me. I'm working tirelessly. I think Black Lives Matter. I think it should be addressed, and I think awareness should be raised. I mean that wholeheartedly. But I think the people behind it are making them just make the country look like shit. Without actually, causing real change to happen. I feel like it's destructive, and it's coming from those people, not black people. That's how I feel, truthfully. Some real shit.
Let's do this one. I like this one.
Yeah, but it's just us.
No, I agree. I agree. So,
Elias, turn your phone to the side, sideways, real quick. See if it makes your screen.
Ooh,
Bam,
full
boy.
screen Elias here.
There we go, young Theroid.
Okay, so that was my question, and Chris touched on too. So, in my opinion, I think the government has done a terrible job with COVID, and they think they can band-aid it up with sending Americans money, which has definitely helped. Don't get me wrong; it's definitely swayed a lot of opinions. But the way that he has downplayed and I'm kind of confused on how this man faked getting COVID and nobody called him out on it.
It could very well
Chris,
be.
muted. You're muted. Chris, you're muted.
You just muted him. Yeah,
Damn, bro. About the sign language is ass.
Yeah, he muted himself. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't think he faked having COVID. Here's the thing: they put out the releases about his whole treatment and everything. He got rushed, airlifted to Walter Reed, which is a big deal. Like the president doesn't just go to Walter Reed unless it's for his physical, and like he needed to go. They gave him experimental drugs. Here's the thing: if Trump faked it, Trump would have. You know what? You might be right. Like,
so here's my thing. If this man had COVID, gets airlifted, 48 hours later, he's leaving in his freaking army of limos with his entourage, and then the next day is seen taking posed pictures of him writing on blank pieces of paper about signing executive orders about stuff with his mask off.
Yeah,
that was in the hospital, excuse me, or wherever. So here's my thing.
Was it a hospital?
Yeah, you got to see the presidential suite at Walter Reed Hospital. That was his hospital.
That was a nice ass room.
I know.
Blank pieces of paper, dressed up, makeup on, taking posed photographs, not writing anything. But here's my thing. So not only is that blatant disrespect to everybody who's had COVID, who has been affected by COVID, whether it be work related, family member dying, getting super sick, whatever the case is, that's just like. Everybody was like, "Oh, okay, Trump's good. He has COVID, but he's recovered." If that's the case, why why isn't that like a thing? Like this is what we did to help him. Oh yeah.
Just 'cause that's me.
So
Oh man, I don't
Why-
even have
why-
using my phone.
why
That's Elias's burner account.
if Trump was cured or fixed in 48 hours and comfortable enough to literally a week later go out and speak to a ton of people and not have to worry about anything and not cancel the debate that he got shit on in which he should have canceled, why isn't the health organization coming out and saying this is what we did, this is what we can do to help everybody that has COVID?
It's the
Like-
election, bro. They're not gonna make Trump look good before the election. Well, I mean,
He
my
could
bad.
come
I'm
out
still
and say
talking.
this is what the hospital. He could literally say, I went in, I had COVID. This is exactly what I had. Unless he signed some sort of like
He did say
NDA.
that. He did say that.
What did he say?
He said
He said we're going to have a vaccine by election day. It's coming very, very soon. They haven't even been sent in for approvals yet because they're still in like the late stages.
There's 8 different companies making vaccines right now. A lot of people don't know that, and it's weird because no joke. I was just watching the Joe Rogan podcast right before this. He was live, actually, just like us, and he was saying that 80% of the people that took Bill Gates' vaccine got sick. Joe Rogan said that, so that there's something to think about. Which company is going to make a vaccine that's going to actually help us, not put a fucking chip in us? Just give us a straight up good vaccine that we could trust, because the trust right now between America and Congress and you know the World Health Organization, it's very fucked up.
Elias, let me ask you a question real quick.
Go ahead, Chris.
What would be the point of them putting the chip in us? To do what?
The biological data. Bill Gates wants to do like this thing. It's weird. It's called the fuck's it called? I can send it to you. I gotta find it.
You gotta send me this because I'm down for this conspiracy theory because
yeah, it's crazy.
What more information do they need that we haven't already freely given them?
They wanted to use it. They wanted to use it for COVID. Actually, they wanted to use those chips for COVID to detect who has it near you and do all this stuff. And they want to like make it our money too, bro. They want to put our money in chips and do a bunch of crazy shit.
Because I realized how everybody was acting crazy over this whole mandate for the restaurants and shit.
Right.
You don't realize when Apple randomly updated your phone with that COVID tracker on there?
COVID tracker.
There's go into your apps. Let me see if it's still in there. There was it could track you. It would use your location and everything. And if somebody that was where you were, exposure notifications. Yes, right here. Exposure notifications.
What?
Go to settings and then go to exposure notifications, and you could turn it on. And it's like turn them on. Your public health authority can notify you of a possible exposure to COVID-19.
Yep.
All right, so I want to touch on this Bill Gates thing real quick.
Yep.
So a tweet went out that's been deemed false that went sort of viral in May. It says Bill Gates admits the vaccine will no doubt kill 700,000 people. The virus so far has killed circa 300,000 globally. Can anyone explain to me why we would take a vaccine that kills more people than its virus is designed to cure? So Bill Gates went on to say it about not killing it. It was just a thing. He said there's a potential of 1 in 10,000 side effects. And it's not an actual microchip. It's kind of like an invisible tattoo. That basically
That still sounds sketchy as hell, bro.
Yeah, an invisible tattoo.
It's not a microchip. It's just a tattoo. You're so cool. All the kids on TikTok are doing it.
For real, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, man. I mean, if they're like, hey, Elon Musk, I love Elon Musk, but he's trying to put fucking chips in our brain right now.
Yeah.
So is the mark of the beast inevitable? Is the real question.
I don't trust that. But like at the end of the day, and to touch on what you said earlier, Elias, like the reason why there's such a disconnect and such like an untrust is because Donald Trump.
I'd say it's
like the reason.
I'd say it's because it's so biased right now, both sides. Instead of focusing on facts, they're focusing on, shitting on the other side. And that when it gets that confusing, we don't know what to believe anymore. And we get to the point.
I agree, bro.
So initially when Trump said he had COVID, I honestly thought, I still think, and I can't prove it, but I think it was fake. But like my biggest thing behind it was the stock market. And what I thought was going to happen is, since he had the debate and he's talking about having these vaccines ready by election day before the end of the year, blah, 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 This is what I thought was good. I thought the timeline was going to be this: COVID, healed within a certain amount of time. He got healed in 48 hours, whatever he said he was completely fine. Was going to release whatever companies said had these vaccines. Stock market then is going to that stock's going to is already public. The company's already public, going to skyrocket. Yeah, therefore the S&P, everything else is going to rise, and I think that's what was going to lead him into the election with the stock market rising. Which in fact it's done the complete opposite, and had one of the biggest. Dow had one of the biggest drops since the recession, like a week ago or like 5 days ago.
You know what's crazy about the stock market, Rob? Like they say that shit every other like month. You hear like a statistic like that. I'm starting to think it's almost like ESPN, where ESPN be like, "This is the most points on a Wednesday when the win was 32." Like,
yeah, exactly.
You always hear that, like, "Oh, the stock market's record." You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're always fucking hearing that shit, bro. Dude.
Well, for one, the stock market's obviously unpredictable. Like Trump, no president can take credit for, in my opinion, can take full credit for stock market success or get blamed for stock market lack of success.
Okay, and Trump can get blamed for the non-success of the stock market because that man can literally, and he has, tanked the market off a tweet.
True.
He has done it multiple times.
Well, that's just because people are
Who, Trump?
idiots.
Again, because
Listen,
other presidents, because they didn't use Twitter, they didn't announce things over social media like that. But all it takes is one tweet. But I gotta go check on something. I will be right back.
Okay. Real quick, I want to brush up on Chris's point. It's true, but I mean, when you think of consumer confidence, man wins tonight, the stock market's going to go up. There's no doubt about that. If Biden wins, it's going to go down. So it's all dependent on what you do.
Well, here's what's going to happen: Biden wins, stock market falls slightly.
He goes back up.
I don't know about slightly. I'd say a lot more than slightly, bro.
Okay, stock market drops. Okay. Every single gun's going to get bought off the shelf. All ammo's going to get bought off the shelf. And people are going to do the same thing they did when Obama got elected the first time and the second time, really.
Those people are annoying because me and my family voted for Obama. And I don't think, like, when you look at back then compared to now, I feel like those people you're talking about are just annoying. But there's good people that are stuck in the middle, man. And it's hard to put your best foot forward when there's so much controversy surrounding a subject these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. I was looking at something earlier. Somebody posted on Facebook. He's a super pro Trump guy. I don't want to talk about him because his posts.
Yeah.
All right, he's like one of those like supremists, like
those people are annoying. Those people,
you know what I
annoying.
mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like donated to the Cal Rittenhouse Foundation, like all like super extreme. So he posted earlier a picture of he lives up at like towards Flint area.
Yeah.
Like Clio or Owasso area.
Okay.
And he posted a picture of a local gun store. The amount of cars that were there for people buying ammo and all this stuff was just like absurd. And like if that's the first thing you run to because you think it's going to help, but like at the end of the day you're really not going to do shit. It's just so silly to me. I just don't understand at all why people that's the first thing, like toilet paper towel, and guns and ammo.
Yeah.
Like it just does not make any sense to me whatsoever.
Did anybody talk about how there's still like a lot of the votes that aren't being counted yet, the ones that came in through paper ballots?
So yeah, that's why they're saying like it's not gonna get called today.
They have a week.
What they're counting right now is everybody who went to go vote today. Those other ballots haven't been counted yet. And they said this is the most everybody like did early voting.
Over 1 million.
Yeah, so it still can get called. Like, yeah, we can say right now Trump's got it. However, the rest of those ballots get counted, and like they have to be counted. Like the election's not over tonight; it's over when all the ballots are counted. So,
Elias like so
it could be over tonight because every state's different. Like if they can gather up enough electoral votes, it could be over.
Yeah,
tonight.
It depends on how many in the popular vote you win by. Then it's like, okay, we have this much. So if you won by by 24, like 24. I don't know.
Yeah, for example,
100,000 to count. Like clearly, whoever.
For example, Louisiana is only 30% reported, but Trump already won the state because he has 410,000 votes versus 250,000.
But they're calling that with 30% of the estimated votes counted. How?
I don't know.
But how do you know he won the state? Is that like the?
How can you even call it with 30% counted?
Chris, it's because certain parts of the state are where the electoral votes are counted. Really, the most.
That's why gerrymandering.
So like Macomb County, Oakland, Wayne, St. Clair, like
nobody cares about Roscommon and like Higgins.
Yeah, Washington, all that shit. Nobody. Yeah, it doesn't matter because they're gonna go to the heaviest populated counties first.
Click on Michigan, share the screen, and see if we can see what counties are which.
So Michigan, yeah, I'll share the
Oh,
screen.
shit, there's a lot of red
no,
counties.
Michigan is going to be, I think, a Trump landslide based on what this is showing.
Yeah.
So hold on a second.
Does it let you go closer?
Yeah. So right now, Wayne County's blue. I don't know what county this is. Washtenaw maybe. Blue. Somewhere up in the. I'm surprised northern. There's some northern counties. But Macomb, Oakland, St. Clair, all red.
Genesee.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much everything. I mean,
Tennessee?
yeah, 10. Yeah,
Genesee
you're
County.
the only 10 I see.
Nice one, Mike.
So yeah, I mean, Michigan is it's not looking pretty as of now, but only 31% are reported. So who knows? Who knows?
So this number, that 131, those are electorals. Yeah, that's
somebody electoral. You need 270 to win.
That's crazy because you look at this like the.
So I think Biden has California, Oregon, and Washington. In my
Click on it
opinion,
real quick. See
there's nothing there. No result. It's 3-hour time difference. They're still voting.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy because you see a lot more red too.
Yeah, these are just like this is typical. These are all typical. That's why like there was like no votes. This says 1%, but that's just always been a red state. Wyoming.
It's typical, but one thing I think a lot of people got to realize is Trump literally changed the electoral map. Like there's a lot of states that were blue that turned red, and
like Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio. Michigan.
Ohio was always a big swing state, but it typically went Democrat.
Do any of you guys know the electoral vote confidently enough to like explain it to anybody listening who doesn't? Like,
in my opinion, it's bullshit. It should be popular vote 100% of the time, regardless, because that's the only thing that matters.
It's true to an extent, Mike. But when you think about like a city like Los Angeles, and you think about the rest of the, think about the rest of the state of California, it might not be the best example, but you're gonna look at the most densely populated parts and
like I agree, man.
Collectively, like what they're doing, because those are the people that are, probably in the bigger city instead of a tertiary market, but in the fucking farms and stuff, that's kind of where they go to for that. And it's just the system of checks.
Well, in my opinion, the Electoral College was made to protect Republicans and to help Republicans more than anything. Because, for example, popular vote, if you look in LA, if California goes blue, that's only 55 votes versus the potential tens of millions of votes that can come through Democratic versus not for Republican or vice versa. But the Electoral College, because I mean, obviously, since the extent of it, historic presidencies, it was a one-party Republican system. Democratic was just thrown in there because, hey, we can't have this one person be president forever, right? And then the Electoral College was brought upon because that's always just what it has been.
Here's my thing. I love when people make the argument that we can't abolish the Electoral College because New York and California will dominate. They will determine who becomes president. Well, here's the thing. California has the most electoral votes out of any other state. So California technically kind of already holds that weight. Also, just because it's mind-boggling because we're going by the people, not the place. We're going by the people. If that's where majority of the people live, then that's where, of course they're going to. If it will spread out evenly across the United States, I don't get the logic behind that. If it was spread out evenly, it would still be the same. If everybody thought one way, but was still moved off to different states, the same person would still win, whether or not those same people who thought that one way lived in California. Like the logic is so flawed on that, and it's like it never makes sense to me. Because like, you're afraid that New York and California would be blue countries or blue states.
They typically are, anyways.
Right, because New York is blue and California is blue. So where's the actual argument? The thing is, the Electoral College is made to disenfranchise people. That's all it is. It is meant to disenfranchise the minority. Look at these counties that you say that hold the weight in what a state's number of their electors, right? So like the counties in which you want to count because those are the ones who basically decide the general election. Macomb, Washtenaw, Oakland, Wayne. Don't forget the west side of the state, Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, like
Grand Rapids.
Let's be real. Like it should, by all means, if you want a true democracy, which we are not a democracy, we are a republic. But if you want a true democracy, then by all means, if you're so ready, your country first, then by all means, let's go to the popular vote and see how that goes. They don't want you because
I don't disagree with you on that. I don't disagree. Every system should have something different in place, but I guess it just is what it is. You know.
And if anybody listening doesn't know what the electoral vote is or how that's determined, it says Google says the state's number of electors equals the amount of representatives plus 2 electors for the senators the state has in the United States Congress. The number of representatives based on the respective populations determined so it's based on population either way. But it's
based
gerrymandering.
off the census.
It's based off population, but it doesn't help. I mean, it helps to an extent. Like, but it doesn't matter because if let's say California has 25 million Democratic votes, only 55 electoral votes count.
But here's the thing: if you
and only one party's gonna get 55 too. You know what I mean? One party's gonna get the 55. You can't split them up.
That's why it's important for people to fill out the fucking census because they account for you. That's why, like, the number of representatives your state gets, it's built off the fucking census. So we can't account for these people if these people don't fill out the fucking census. Actually, low key, I say that, and like I was angry because I was mad at myself because I forgot to fill. They sent me like 3 of them. They was sitting on my bro, they showed up at my house. I'm sitting there like chilling. Somebody buzzes my buzzer. I like looked like, what the fuck? It's some like old ass white dude. So I'm like, let him in. Like maybe he's like for somebody next door or something. And he's like, are you Christopher Jones? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I'm Jerry with the United States Census Bureau. Where you have time to take this? I'm like, oh shit, like y'all done caught up with me. Like, all right, yeah, bro. Like, so I hurry up, I filled it out. I was like, here, like take it, and he left. Like,
no, it's. I mean, I don't know, man. It's. I don't know. It's BS in my opinion. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest with you though. Like last election was not like the prettiest, obviously, right? It was like we have a pretty shitty election right now, but like Hillary Trump was like fuck, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so like if the electoral college wasn't there, like we'd have Hillary, and I don't know what would be going on because she was popular vote.
Yeah. Hillary's a stupid bitch. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care. Say it.
Jesus,
someone needed to break the tension too. I'm gonna say it. Hillary Clinton is a stupid bitch. Mark my words. Now, I just want to bring this up real quick. What the heck was that? When it comes to what's going on right now in this country, in terms of white people and black people, like today I went on Facebook, some white girl commented on another white girl's thing for supporting Trump, took a screenshot of it, and she's like, thanks for letting me know I should remove you as a friend, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know you were such a racist, ignorant piece of shit. And when I see shit like that, it's not like I'm like, wow, this, she's a Biden supporter. It's like she's stupid to begin with, no matter what, no matter what, Republican or Democrat, she's just an ignorant person because to me, bro, I don't think the dude's racist. And I'm an Arab, bro. I'm a smooth Arab. I've been called some.
That's racist.
Yeah, man, it is. But you got to be able to joke around a little bit. It's like, you could, like, if you're an Arab, you could say it. You know what I mean? You could say Arab, but if you're a white person saying it, they might look at you the wrong way. I
want to ask you something.
Oh, go ahead.
Where? So I've personally, I mean, obviously, we know all the same people. We know a lot of Chaldeans. We know a lot of Jordanians, Albanians, all that kind of stuff. Right? Where has this, like, all of a sudden, where has this huge Arabic and like Middle East, like support from Trump come from? Do you think?
He protects the Christians. He protects the Christians in the Middle East, and he actually just brokered for Middle East over the past several months. Peace treaties between several countries.
So what about when ICE was in Dearborn, like kicking people out of the country and arresting people?
So I have a funny building. We actually we had a fake university, and I'll send you the story. Right across the cafe in my building, there's a fake university they set up, and they got like 30 people with it. They told them they were going to help them set up a way for them to get their citizenship, and then they deported all of them. So to me, that was some fuckery, and if you're going to go that route, it's not a good thing. But then again, these are the same people that have committed crimes in their countries and fled here, and now are living here legally. So it's bittersweet, bro. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. I was just curious because I noticed a lot of my Chaldean friends, Christian Catholics,
Me too. I
a
know
lot
this.
of Arabic. The support came out of nowhere, and I was so confused because like it was so hostile when Dearborn was getting harassed by the government.
Well, people don't like Trump. We have Muslim people I don't like. That are the majority of Muslim people I know do not like Trump. But when you say an Arab, like I'm a Christian Arab, I could be a Muslim Arab. You know what I mean? But I'm a Christian Arab, and as long as
I have Lebanese friends that are Muslim, obviously that are split too. One of my friends, him and his brother and his siblings aren't Trump supporters. His mom and dad are. And they came here. Well, his dad, he's half Lebanese. His mom's Italian. His dad's 100% like came over with his dad.
Ellis Island type shit. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and that's where I'm like confused because Trump's so against. I mean, for the you can sugarcoat it and say he's only against the bad immigrants, but in my opinion, he's against immigrants in general. If you weren't born here, I don't think he respects you whatsoever, at all.
I don't agree with that. I think common sense policy is really where it starts. Common sense policy is where it starts, Mike. So like I don't think like as my parents were immigrants, he's married to an immigrant. So when you say that it's I mean daughter's married to a Jewish guy. I mean, there's a lot that goes into.
Yeah, he's a Jewish American. He's not from the homeland.
Let me say this, Elias. Let me say this. I'll make this point because you can point out that he's married to an immigrant and all this, but again, slave owners have black children. So you can say like, oh, because blood connects us. Your policies speak volumes, and his policies has not been that of which is for immigration or for immigrants or for those trying
to for legal immigration, Chris.
Even legal. He limited the amount of refugees that we will allow in. Refugees are legal. They're legals.
Without fairness, bro. Here's my take on that because I see your point, man. I mean, here's the thing of the day. Some of my best friends are Muslim. I know so many great people that are Muslim, bro. But we can't not talk about the elephant in the room. There's radical terrorism, like it or not. And when you got people blowing up Ariana Grande concerts,
Kyle Rittenberg.
Bro, don't talk about radical Islamists.
White guy
talk about radical white supremacists. I don't even want to hear another radical Islamists. We have a problem with white supremacy that's the elephant in the room that we don't talk about. We ignore.
Look, we can get to that. We can get to that. But I'm just saying, from an Arab, because I'm an Arab, but I'm not Muslim. You know, when I see like the Ariana Grande concert and I see the Orlando shooting, and then we have an influx of Muslim people that we're not even checking at all. We're just, hey, come on in, without checking who these people are. Some of them could be bad, some of them could be good. But out of respect for this country and our safety, we got to be logical about it. And that's my what were you saying about?
To be fair, I think those people, I think they're native to those countries, the people who did those attacks, but I'm not 100% sure. But I do have a question. Were those attacks during Trump's presidency, or was that?
Orlando was during Obama. But
I would say
they both were.
I'm not sure if they're during Trump's presidency.
You're talking about the gay nightclub shooting?
Yeah, Orlando.
Yeah, in Orlando.
That was Trump's first year, I thought.
Was it his first year? Might have been.
We can look it up. Yeah.
My point is,
it's like working their way into banned guns because a lot.
That was 2016. That was Trump's first year.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Didn't Ariana Grande? That didn't even happen here, did it?
No, that was in France.
No, that was in France.
It happened in France, but
that was in Europe. It was in the UK.
It's not about what happened in the UK during a concert. But what I'm saying is, as long as there's radical forms of every religion, you guys. But when you think of radical Islam, it's not a good thing, man. It can get dangerous. And then when they try committing crimes that are in public, when you see little people's heads exploding in concerts, it's not good at all, man. And
hey, shout out to Alex.
So that was Obama's. That was still Obama. Yeah.
That's
what I wanted to do. I was just gonna say, look for sure.
Thanks, Alex.
Ariana Grande.
Why would we bring in refugees?
Ariana Grande was 2017.
Anybody listening about fact checked us, please.
No. Was it Trump? Okay.
It was
no,
the
shooting, the Orlando shooting was Obama.
Yeah, the Orlando shooting was Obama.
But you guys notice like a lot of that shit's down lately, like since like I mean I don't know. I feel like we ever heard about like when was
Yeah,
the last, like,
all
big
that
one
shit's
happened?
down, but white cops killing unarmed black men is up. So
What made the news?
let's talk about
report
that.
it more? Situation.
Here's my thing.
There's definitely a problem. Go ahead, Chris. My bad.
Here's my thing that I get. Like I will give Trump this. There hasn't been an international military conflict under his presidency. However, there have been other multiple international conflicts that we've engaged in. So I mean, I will give him the fact that the military isn't being put into another war. However, he's still using military as pawns. Look at what he's doing in Germany with just pulling out the military out of nowhere, like just because he's mad at Merkel. There's also what? Oh, somebody was about to say something.
I was just gonna say he's mad at Merkel because Merkel signed an agreement with Russia for them to get their energy, and in the NATO, and if you look at what happened in the NATO meeting, Trump said, "Hey, we're paying all this money to NATO to protect you guys from Russia, and you're starting to give them your oil and gas capabilities for your whole country." So Trump is fair to do that because it's kind of a fucked up move.
I'm gonna tell you why he's fucked up for what he's doing, because our presence in Germany is very strategic. It is. I mean, if you say, "Oh, he's like, don't cooperate with Russia. Russia's a threat." Well, us being in Germany, look at it geographically. Like, it would make more sense for us in the event of attack to be in Germany. Just look at it. I mean, we have like 3 or 4 bases there. But to use the military, and that's why there's a hold on it. But to use the military as pawns, as or we're going to pull out, or we're going to reduce our numbers in Germany by thousands.
It's like he's playing Stratego.
Like, why? Why?
Risk.
So, like, I mean, I will give Trump his credit. Yeah, there's no new military conflict in which he has gotten us in. But however, let's fuck international shit. Let's look at home. How is home being treated? Because you say America first. All right, so how have you put America first? Because America only comes first when it comes to your international treaties and all that. Because he says he redid NAFTA. If you look at NAFTA, not much has changed from the original fucking agreement. It's the same shit. It's just rebranded with a different.
Well, he made it more fair. He made it more fair.
How did he make it more fair?
Just trading. He made it better for our farmers. He negotiated it to the USMCA.
No, the farmers need a bailout.
The USMCA is just a nice agreement.
Like multiple months this year, because he may have done that during NAFTA. However, his trade war with China hurt our farmers a whole lot more. So how?
I'd say the trade war with China was well needed. Why the fuck are we letting China take advantage of us
Who got
for
hurt?
so long? All
Who
of our
got hurt
jobs
over
are
that?
going there. It's an absolute disgrace to the country. And Joe Biden's son is getting checks for millions of dollars from them. It makes you wonder, like, how corrupt our system
It's never been proven. It's never been proven.
Dude, I could prove it, and I'll tell you what else.
Why? Because some laptop randomly wound up in Rudy Giuliani's lap. Like, oh yeah, that's not obvious at all.
It's not about that, Chris. It's not about the laptop. This is what it's about. Do you remember? Do you remember the quid pro quo Trump did when they tried impeaching him?
Yes.
Do you know why they tried impeaching him?
I know, because he violated a law. Quid pro quo. He violated the treaties, and that's illegal. Withholding aid to further your gain is illegal.
Right. You know why he did that?
Yes, because he tried to get information on Hunter Biden, because that's all that happened when Joe Biden was named the nominee, not before when he was named the nominee. So therefore, he was trying to dig up dirt. However, if you look back, let's touch on this. I like this because yes, they were saying that they got the Ukrainian prosecutor fired to get Hunter Biden away for some illegal stuff that he was doing over there. But if you look back further, before Hunter Biden got there, the Obama administration and the Ukraine government all were investigating. Other foreign governments did not like the Ukraine prosecutor. He was being investigated for corruption. And they did not like him in there because he was allowing so much corruption to go on. That's why he got out. And that's why nobody can prove that Hunter Biden did anything legal, because he did not.
Well, here's the thing, Chris. A lot of people need to understand this, and it's very important. When Hunter Biden was on video, he's on video and you could pull it up easily. I'm sorry, Joe Biden, he's on video saying that if they didn't fire the prosecutor, then they're going to withhold aid from, I think it was $3 billion or something. Something crazy.
It was $3 billion. Yeah,
$3 billion from going to Ukraine.
Yes.
Unless they fired the prosecutor looking into Hunter Biden and Burisma Holdings. And you're right, Burisma
I'm gonna tell you why that's legal. I'm explaining to you why that's legal. I'm gonna explain to you why that's legal. The United States can withhold money from a government if they deem that government is corrupt. We do it all the time. We put sanctions on people all the time and don't give them aid, don't give them money. Look at Sudan. They agreed to that treaty with Israel.
That's why they didn't impeach
it took them off the state-sponsored terrorist list, so now they can receive aid. Like that's why they didn't. Trump. No,
that's why Trump
did it for his own political gain. There was nothing for the United States to gain. It was nothing for the United States had no dealing with the Ukraine because of that. That was only for his political gain because he was going to use it as a weapon, like they've been doing, which is evident now against Joe Biden to try to interfere in our election. That's all that was for. There's a complete difference.
Joe Biden.
It's just a context.
No, it's just a statement.
Here's the thing, Chris. I like your perspective, man. But here's the thing, bro. Hunter Biden, he got kicked out of the military, joined the board with zero experience. Okay. He starts getting checks and checks and checks in his account, right? And this dude has no experience, doesn't even go there to work. I think maybe once or twice he went there. And then he gets over $1 billion from China as well, bro.
Hey, that's great. Now do Dr. Trump. Do Jared Kushner.
All right, so what's going on? What they're referring to, guys, is during the debates, Trump brought up a fact that, well, not a fact, it's taken out of context a bit, but he said that Hunter Biden received $3.5 million in a wire transfer from Moscow, the Moscow mayor's wife, Elena, however you want to say that. There was payment received, however, it was to a investment firm co-funded by Hunter Biden. So it's true, but taken out of context. It's not necessarily untrue. It was just received by like a different, like, you know, if you own a business, you can receive shit through your LLC and whatnot.
Fair enough. But here's my problem. Joe Biden says you can't prove it, and we say you can't disprove it. So it's one of those things where, like, we should probably get to the bottom of it. Here's
the thing. I don't like that logic because you set yourself up to falsely accuse a shit ton of people of a bunch of bullshit because you can't disprove it, so it must be true. No. If you come with the accusation, you gotta have the proof. If you don't have the proof, shut up. You get it.
I have
the proof, though, right? Like
I'll show you the video of Joe Biden
saying his firm. That's like saying somebody randomly paid a bunch of money to an
investment firm in freaking Ukraine. Like, why is that?
He doesn't. It's not in Ukraine.
Let me tell you guys, Obama made Joe Biden the head of foreign relations with Ukraine, and it's no secret. Ukraine's been corrupt to begin with, the whole entire country, and then
that's why
what wound up happening is Trump wanted to withhold aid from going to Ukraine before talking to the new president Poroshenko. I think that's the new one, or is that the old one? Whatever. But what wound up happening is on the phone call, Trump brought up Hunter Biden's son and said, "Hey, it's on video. You should look into that." But he didn't use it as a way to withhold aid. He didn't say, "Hey, I'm not going to give you this money."
Not on that phone call, but it was through wire. He got the evidence through emails and wiretaps and testimony from other people. He did the whole. I'm not going to give you aid unless you look.
So I have a question. Why has this been so? It's a two-part thing. Why every time legitimate facts come out about Trump, like proven legitimate facts, it deflects to something else because there's never they never have anything to rebuttal about what's happening about Trump. So why has this been such like a prominent argument? So this came out initially in the debate when Biden brought up the tax issues with Trump not paying taxes, all that kind of stuff. Then he said, well, Hunter received money from Ukraine. So why is he deflecting that and not like why is that a bigger issue to us than the leader of our country abusing our tax laws?
They didn't bring up the taxes until a couple days before the first debate, bro. So it's all bullshit, man. I'll tell you what, if people are that concerned about Trump's taxes,
Trump has said he's going to release the taxes for the last 4 years.
Dude, he's donating his salary every year, $400,000. Why the fuck are people so concerned?
Elias.
What concerns you more? The vice president's son receiving $3.5 million from a foreign country, or a rich guy who ran for president who fiddles his taxes? Like, what's more concerning, honestly? Like,
Exactly.
Like,
You gotta
come on,
weigh
let's
it
be
out,
real,
bro.
though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just sketchy as fuck.
Let me explain something to you.
The leader of our country doesn't tell the truth about anything. That's more concerning than anything to me.
Okay,
I don't care
Mike.
about the vice president's
That's-
son.
Mike, that's not true, bro.
As
Mike.
sketchy as that guy receiving $3.5 million from a foreign country. Like, what's
Right.
equally sketchy?
Corrupt.
The fact
wanna
that
know.
Trump can't tell a sentence without lying. What are you talking about?
Mike,
That's not the answer,
Mike.
Mike. I'm trying
That
to say,
isn't
what's something, okay, and I don't care either way. You know what I'm saying? I think Trump's an asshole too, but
Fair
what's equally as sketchy?
Okay, so what influence does Hunter Biden have over our country?
Hey, listen.
Zero.
Listen,
Zero.
no,
What
that's not
influence
true.
does Donald Trump have over our country? 100%.
That's not
He's
true,
the leader
bro.
of our country.
He's linked to China. He's linked to all these countries.
What does that have to do with the country, though, Elias? What does that
Mike.
have to do with legislation and trade? Nothing. Has nothing to do. He's a private citizen. See,
Listen,
here's the
guys,
thing.
it's not about that.
What is it about?
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Because my thing is, if you wanna talk about Hunter Biden and like you want to make this whole Hunter Biden is a big deal because he's linked to China. He's linked. All right, so let's talk about the people who have security clearances who shouldn't have security clearances. Jared Kushner, who couldn't even pass a security clearance investigation, which in my job, I'm in charge of doing that. I'm actually going through one right now where they come and they investigate all my shit. That's why it's concerning for Trump to not release his tax returns, because your financials is something they look into. They want to see if you're susceptible.
Why don't you focus?
Oh, wait, let me finish. You're susceptible to a foreign country coming in and offering you money because you're deep in debt. You're more susceptible to accept a bribe or to do something illegal because you're hurting financially. So therefore, you can't get the clearance. Jared Kushner could not pass a security clearance investigation. However, he has ties to Saudi Arabia, who is responsible.
He's shady, bro.
But the thing is, he's an advisor to the president. He has a security clearance.
He's a lobbyist.
Material.
He's a lobbyist.
No, he's not. He's not a lobbyist.
Right.
He's not a lobbyist. He is a national security.
At this point, he might as well be.
No, at this point, if he's a lobbyist, what he's doing will be highly illegal because he has access to so much more. So Hunter Biden doesn't have access to any of that. He's irrelevant. No one cares what Hunter Biden is doing. That's like them talking about what Chelsea Clinton is doing right now. No one cares about Chelsea Clinton. Hunter Biden has no relevance to American government. What's going on in the United States right now?
It comes from the fact that anytime anybody has a legitimate argument or a legitimate beef with Donald Trump, people are going to the extreme to come out with some sort of on Biden.
And you got to weigh it out, bro. You got to weigh out.
And they're attacking Joe Biden's son that was addicted to drugs, and they're attacking Joe Biden's son that has foreign affairs.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's not so much about that. I mean, you look at how much Joe Biden attacked his family. He's not innocent, bro.
How is he the same way that he attacked his? Please.
So I agree. So I'll come front and I'll totally agree that like, why can't this guy complete a security clearance? Like, that's kind of sketchy, right? Will you guys at least come clean and admit like this guy receiving $3.5 million from the Ukraine is also kind of sketchy?
We don't know what it's for though.
An investment is an investment firm.
So the investment firm got $3.5 million.
So what's like what? How that's not
Mike, Chris. Let me tell you something.
That's not sketchy.
We don't have a good relationship with
irrelevant
Russia right now, you guys. So when the mayor of Moscow's wife gives him a check for $3.5 million, you got to figure some shit's going on.
Where's the check? Where's the check for $3.5 million? It wasn't. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, bro? It's common knowledge, Mike.
$3.5 million.
It was into an investment firm. We have no idea why it's there. The fact of the matter is,
China, Mike, listen to me.
That's so irrelevant to me. Why is that relevant? Listen. I love basketball, right?
Sure.
If Adam Silver's daughter has a fucking affair with some random guy, why is that relevant to me? I want to watch the NBA game. I don't care.
Who do you think's getting that money, fam? Who do you think's getting that 3.5? Hunter Biden or Joe?
Joe Biden's not worth $1 million?
Connect the dots. He got over $1 billion from China. He got 3 point something from Ukraine.
You know where Joe's money comes from. You know where Joe's money is coming from.
You guys don't think that's sketchy?
I mean, you guys got.
I don't think it's sketchy.
Why would I care?
Why don't you care? That's going to be the president's son.
It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. Why the fuck would you trust them, bro?
You don't think there's like that?
I can't hear you. Looks like they're cussing each other out.
That's
Doesn't
not
matter.
that's
It
not
does.
the same thing at all because these
So
are world
listen.
leaders that deal with lobbyists all the time. So the fact that like the president going to be the president's
Okay.
son received
So if that's a real
from a foreign
concern,
leader, like what do you mean? Like
if that's a real concern, then that would be heavily monitored by the government if that's a true concern.
Right.
Secondly,
it is
the thing
coming
I'm
from the
worried
president.
the thing I'm worried about is Donald Trump couldn't get a fucking executive job in a company right now because he has 8 bankruptcies. He fucking has tax evasion. He's finding every loophole in the fucking world to
He has 8 hotels, Mike. You can't be a pessimist about everything.
everything's a loss. What are you
Well, why is that
because
more
he's the
concerning?
leader of our country, bro.
Dude.
What do you mean? He
So
is
what
our
bad-
fucking.
I have a question.
Bro.
How is it that when we say, "Oh, Donald Trump will be a good," well, I've heard, not we, but I've heard that Donald Trump will be a good president because he's a businessman. He knows he'll make sweet deals for America, like he'll boost the economy and so forth and so on. However, when you point out his failures as a businessman, which makes him not so much a good businessman,
Well, let's talk about the economy.
it's oh well, that's just the nature. No. Bankruptcies aren't like that. That's a huge deal. Being
That's where he gets his tax
$100 in debt is a huge. Hey, well, we're not going to talk about. Are we not going to talk about his loan? What's the name of that bank in Germany? It starts with a D. You know what I'm talking about.
These
It
nuts?
starts.
No, I'm
It sounds. Fuck you. No, but he had a loan. He took out a loan from them. Paid the loan back, so they gave him another loan to pay back the other loan, and he still owes them for that loan.
Hold on. I want to read that comment real quick just so you can see.
Jason, the stocks have zero to do with the president. Zero.
Apple, actually, my Apple stock is fucked right now. Thank you very much. Tesla's going up.
My 401k is down like 3% year to date. I don't want to talk
let me tell you guys something. What you guys want to look
I
at
wanna
is
read
the
this
10-year
real quick.
treasury.
Hold on, Elias.
Go ahead.
ASVP Ron, I just want to get this comment. It says both Hunter flying on Air Force 2 to fly to China and the $1 billion withheld from Burisma both uses U.S. tax dollars. So I'm gonna fact check that. I just wanted to read that, and so I'm gonna find a spot because I don't know about that. Do you guys know about that?
All right, if he did in fact fly on Air Force 2 to fly to China, yes, that will use taxpayers' dollars. The $1 billion withheld from Burisma, what is that referring to?
Money's being withheld. We're not spending any money.
What is that? The $1 billion withheld is just these closed accounts.
That's the money we're talking about withholding from if they wouldn't have prosecuted the attorney
Okay, yeah.
Explain one more time.
If he did fly,
that has to do with Hunter Biden $3.5 million. That has to do with us with us withholding money to the Ukraine if they're not going to prosecute the attorney that's looking into the Hunter Biden shit.
Actually,
We're not giving them.
Actually, technically, if this happened during his presidency, during the Obama administration's presidency, it did use tax dollars regardless of whether or not he flies on Air Force 2 because they get Secret Service detail.
Yeah.
Who pays for Secret Service detail? So technically, that's anything he does uses his own taxpayers' dollars. However, that leads me to my next thing. You mentioned that Donald Trump donates his $400,000 salary.
Right.
What's $400,000?
I'm going to now explain.
Why is that your thought, bro?
Because we talking about
Say
how.
Thank you, Mike. Jesus.
Wait. I'm going to explain to you right now, Elias, how that's bullshit. All right, so listen. He pays back his $400,000 per year salary, right? Which is 1.6 mil over 4 years. However, when Trump takes his little visits to Mar-a-Lago and to all of his little resorts, and your tax dollars not only pays for him going there, they have to pay for the Secret Service members that go there. They have to pay for their rooms.
Who pays for the plane?
We do. We pay. Taxpayers pay for all of that. When Trump goes and he flies,
he's got his own plane, bro.
No, he flies on Air Force One. He just landed at Air Force One the other day. He flies on Air Force One, bro.
He's got his own. He's got his own plane.
It doesn't matter. Say
the gas.
So say he saved you money on fuel. All right.
So the marathon I got to fill up.
Remember, all the Secret Service members have to have lodging. They have to have food. And
with COVID, separate lodging.
Right. So they're paying Mar-a-Lago for all of that. So he makes. Yeah, you can have this $400,000 back because if I go to Mar-a-Lago about 3 or 4 times a year, I make 4 times that back. Who cares about the $400,000? You're not saving this money.
That's another band-aid. That's another band-aid that covers up all the like Elias, 4 years to see your tax returns.
I mean,
Going on over 4 years.
Oh,
I mean,
audited.
dude, I've dealt with some clients that,
Mike, I hear you.
had owned many assets, bro, and it gets confusing, man. It's
Hey,
not so
update.
much about that. It's more about
It's
the amount.
confusing because you're writing everything off. You're looking for every single loophole. You're looking
Why
for every
wouldn't
single
you? Why the fuck wouldn't you do that? It's the law. You could look for
That's why-
loopholes and do
that's
that.
why
You're
that's why
smart
they're
to
going
do that, Mike.
So Elias, and I'm going to talk to you about this because you might understand this. Some people might understand this. I fully understand this.
Sure.
So let's say, okay,
Real quick, Mitchell, comment your stuff on YouTube. It'll
It's
be less
Michael.
delayed. Michael.
so
Kitchener.
Kitch is in chat. Elias, Kitch
Michael
is in
Kitchener, sorry,
chat.
I said put it together.
Kitchener, I love that guy. Okay, go ahead.
So, and correct me if you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't care. All right. So, I'm trying not to discriminate or anything like this, but it's just so prominent in the Metro Detroit area.
You're straight. Go ahead.
Middle Eastern restaurant opens up, right?
Yeah.
Does very, very well, busy all the time.
Racist.
2 years later, 2 years later, shuts down, opens up as a different name, same people working there, right?
Yeah.
That last 2 years of business is a loss, correct? They're gonna write that off as a loss 100% and just continue to do that until they can't anymore, right?
Well, there's a lot more that goes into it. You got to think
Well, I'm
of the
just-
landlord. The
general
landlord's got a
scheme.
tenant. The landlord has a tenant that has signed a lease with them, and now they have to replace him with another tenant. So the guy's going to sell his business to a successful person.
No,
Look
he's
at
gonna
it
sell.
that way.
He's gonna sell his business to, or write off his business to a family member, mom,
be.
dad, whatever the case is, which is a loss, right? You don't think that's wrong because that's
I mean,
gonna be taxed.
I mean, it's a loss, but I mean, you got to think of the landlord who just white box.
I'm not worried about the fucking landlord, man.
You should be.
I'm not worried.
because
I'm worried about the guy who has a business he's not paying any taxes on. This is what Trump has done for multi-billion-dollar companies across the United States with his hotel chains, his golf courses, everywhere.
I mean,
That he's not paying a dollar of
depreciation.
tax.
He writes
and
off a lot of depreciation, bro. And depreciation.
There's no depreciation, dude. There's a lot of profit, though. I'll tell you that.
There's depreciation. There's depreciation on his hotels, on his golf courses. He could write all of that off. Number one. The second numeric number is 2.
Yeah.
So,
it's also like stimulating economy by giving jobs. to
Sort,
too. It's like,
yeah. I mean,
there's two sides to that versus like,
okay. So
this
does
guy-
Amazon, though, and Amazon's a fucking terrible company.
I mean, they make a lot of jobs, bro.
I don't think the narrative out there that Amazon's a terrible company. Like I don't.
There's no
I
reason
don't-
Jeff Bezos needs that much money.
Yeah, but
Jeff
that's capitalism.
I pointed this out to somebody the other day. Jeff Bezos literally got divorced, lost half his money, and didn't do anything but make his wife the richest woman in the world.
Hold on a second. Hold on. There's a comment I want to talk about from ASVP Ron. It says if you actually read both of the NYT articles on Trump taxes, they both sneak in there that Trump prepaid millions of dollars in advance that applied to future taxes. How in the hell do you know how much money in taxes you have to pay in advance when you're making billions of dollars a year?
No, actually, you can do that. You can actually.
That's the thing, bro.
What's the thing?
You could put money down. Like it's like
You can put money down.
You can put your return. You can apply your return to future. If you when you get down to your taxes, you'll ask you if you want to apply your return to your next year's taxes.
Yeah, but here's my thing. If year after year, loss after loss, bankruptcy after bankruptcy,
Dude, he's not like that, bro. Why are you saying that? Loss after it's negative, bro. You're too negative. You got to balance it out a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie. You don't be rich like that without having a damn good accountant.
Yeah. So and that's my thing. He's a great businessman, but like that at the end of the day, that's it.
So I mean, he had a couple bankruptcies. He also made a bunch of jobs for people, employed many people. And I'm not kissing the guy's ass. I know he's not perfect. He's outlandish. But you got to give credit when it's due, and that's what this country is doing a horrible job at. I mean, if Joe Biden during his term, and if he did half of what Trump did, I would give him kudos right away, bro.
Let me.
We got a couple comments to read, guys.
Let me, because we got off topic. So the original thing that we were debating is what's more sketchy, Trump tax stuff or like Hunter Biden receiving $3.5 million to his investment firm. What was sketchy about that was back then, I think it was 2018. Joe Biden leveraged aid to remove top prosecutor.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
$1 billion.
Yeah. I'm giving context to the people listening who may not know. Yeah. So Joe Biden said he leveraged the aid against them to get rid of the prosecutor. However, like when that's like a strategy you use to uproot whatever like corruption you say, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the fact that your son receives like $3 million like afterward is like that's just like weird to me. But I just wanted to give context.
Me too, Daniel.
Let's also get to some comments too.
Yeah. So Kristen
So
says,
Kristen Gray says, go
build Washington, D.C. into a place that doesn't look like a third world country so he doesn't have to conduct all his business in Key Largo. That is,
That's
Kristen, like, I like you, but that's a very, very stupid comment. What?
She's got it.
whether he is there in Michigan or overseas, the Secret Service is going. No shit. The Secret Service is going to go with any president, whether they're in office or not. Our taxes also pay for every for $150,000 a year. Every retired president, vice president,
Right.
service.
That's facts.
That is facts.
That's
That is
facts.
facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. Yeah.
But
Big
building up
facts.
Washington D.C., like the Washington D.C. has a huge inner city, huge drug population. If a president was that concerned about it, they could fix it because they literally live in the city.
My thing is, why does that matter for you to do work? It doesn't. You don't actually go about the president's actually go about the city to conduct his business. I mean,
Thanks, Mike, for the.
John Gitches is Mike here. Hey, John, subscribe, man. I'm trying to get Mike here more often. What up, though, Nevin?
Hey, we got an update on the votes.
I'm afraid to look at it.
It's 108 Trump,
108,
130
121. Yeah.
Ooh.
Looks like Texas is going to be red. Florida's going to be red.
I'll go ahead and share the screen. Let them see it.
Yeah, Texas is going to be red.
You got to hit the share again.
Hey, Chris, just admit you're a Trump supporter right now, bro, and I'll leave you alone.
Not a chance in hell.
Elias, will you be genuinely upset if he like gets uprooted as president? Like,
Elias can go. Yes,
No, I mean, here's my thing. I'm upset that our country's gotten to the nobody knows what to believe. I think when your coach is when you have a winning record with a coach and you're doing good, your numbers are good, and then COVID comes along, he should access from flying out to China right away. He did that in January. Nobody fucking talks, not one person, but he does that. We brought up Event 201 before that. So when you think about it, something sketchy is going on. I'm not saying Trump's 100% innocent. I'm just saying there's other people out there doing some shit. Now, if you pull up a guy, his name is Charles Lieber.
What is it? You cut out.
Charles Lieber.
Charles Lieber. Look, check this out, dude. This is what really bothers me, and I feel like I can thoughts on things. But let's take a look, and I want to see what you guys have to say about it because it's weird. I'll be real.
Charles Lieber, he died recently.
Dr. Charles Lieber. Doctor at Harvard.
Go ahead, say what you're saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Charles Lieber.
I don't.
So what are we looking up, Elias?
Yeah, there's really nothing.
Dr. Charles Lieber, Wuhan.
What about him though?
Check it out, bro. Just look up what they say about him. He was getting paid by the lab, I think $30,000 a month, and then got
Harvard University professor indicted. Harvard University professor indicted on false statement charges. Is that what we're talking about here?
On what?
On false statement charges?
No, it was real.
I know who you're talking about.
Website.
No,
he's not. It's not fake. He's asking.
I'm asking you. I don't know.
That's him.
Type in Dr. Charles Lieber, Wuhan.
That's
Harvard professor indicted for allegedly making
the same guy. That's the same guy. That's the same one.
Yeah. Okay.
That shit's sketchy to me, bro.
So he's saying that coronavirus came from Wuhan, making like dangerous claims on it or some shit.
No, I'm saying our government and the colleges like Boston University, Harvard, they're all connected, and I feel like they have this guy working in Wuhan, and maybe he had something to do with the coronavirus.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll read into it. I'll read. Oh yeah, he worked at the Wuhan University of Technology in China.
Yeah. But he didn't just work there. It's espionage, bro. He was getting paid by the Chinese government without anybody knowing, and they let him off on $1 million bail. And two other Chinese people that worked at Boston University, they were found with vials.
One died. One was murdered or something, right? Or committed suicide, right?
Jeff Epstein.
One of those doctors that were caught with the vials. I think
maybe.
Died.
I don't think so, but I know they worked for the Chinese government and the Chinese army. So it's there's some suspicious stuff going on all around, in my opinion.
So there's one thing that I've been trying to touch on because it gets like hit on here and there, and is and you had just mentioned literally before you asked me to pull it up is Trump. Everything was on the up and up, right? Everything was improving. Right. But like when the numbers come down to it, like he inherited an economy that was already,
booming.
He put it on steroids.
He put it on steroids for what, 0.5% of growth?
Actually, Elias.
10-year treasury is low as fuck. It's lower than my grandma's blood sugar.
Hey, actually, look at the GDP. Actually, look at the economy dating back
Look
to
at the
when it
growth.
was first left, right? Actually,
It's like-
under Trump, while we've had growth, the economy has grown at its slowest that it has in the past 8 years, 8 to 12 years. So yes, while he's riding the
I don't think
trend,
so.
it's fact, bro. Look at the government website. It's look at the actual government.gov website.
I'm not calling you a
Right.
liar. I'm just
But-
saying you look at the 10-year treasury, how low it is. You look at job growth. Typically, when the 10-year treasury, when they know a recession's about to happen, it has an inverted yield curve. And it sounds nerdy, but they predicted another recession and it never happened because he put so many jobs over here. He stopped them from going to China. He tariffed the fuck out of them. And they had no choice but to start making shit here again. And when you do stuff like that, places like Michigan, it starts in our hometown, you guys. It starts in Michigan and then it spreads out the Midwest weekly. And just goes from there, bro.
No, go ahead. That's what we're looking for.
Did
Because
you really just throw a plug in there?
You gotta advertise yourself, homie.
there's really no place
I
for
wanna
it
see
to go
this.
but up. It's gonna see the same shit, the same numbers.
This is what I was looking for right here. This is the thing.
What?
So I'm just gonna show you this. Real
I
quick.
got you, but I'm gonna put it like this. Donald Trump benefited from a very, 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 very healthy Obama economy.
Coronavirus. See, that's what I'm saying. The other one back further.
And I like how you put, like, he was doing good up until the virus happened, but let's not forget that Obama had to deal with Ebola and H1N1, and we didn't see any type of
and a complete economic crash.
we didn't see anything like this. Because why? Because he handled it before it got out of control. Ebola ravaged West Africa. It got here. What did they do? Immediately shut that shit down. Only 3 people caught it. 1 person died.
So actually, the GDP did go up under Donald Trump. It wasn't like the fastest or anything impressive, but it did go up since 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look how quickly. But like, look at Trump.
One thing you guys got to realize is we're putting tariffs on China, but at the same time, it's incentivizing our people to finally start making stuff over here, man. Until they get real, because we had to deal with them, and then it went away after the Wuhan thing. So it's weird.
So this is just the argument is Trump has nonstop just argued that he's responsible for this economic growth. Like he's done wonderful things for the country.
Yes.
But like
Obama did start the trend, though.
I mean,
Obama did start the trend, and I respect Obama for that.
Election year, it's going to dip.
I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying Trump put it on steroids, which is what we needed. So good for Obama and good for Trump. And that's unity, bro. And we need more thinking like that rather than people just going at each other, bro.
Right?
Latter year 2012. So it's on a downward hill into 2013 is what I'm saying.
My life? No, I'm joking. Yeah, man.
But that's just like things like that. What do you mean?
That's what you're saying, isn't it? What's it saying?
Just like I don't know, man. Just this guy is just so arrogant and just.
He's for sure a douchebag, but like, I feel like a lot of complaints about him are the fact that he is a douchebag. To me, he's
you're talking about Trump, right?
Yeah, policy wise,
let's call him a well-needed douchebag. Let's call him that because we need somebody tough right now, man, to guide us, man. And he's not the most. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I'm just gonna say like tough, but like to what extent can we afford like tough? Like
I mean, dude, it's tough. It's tough love.
He's not even saying like Black American. What do you mean? I'm not worried about the other countries. Like if we go to war, we go to war. It is what it is. Like we have the military to protect it. I'm worried about like my fucking brother here. Worried about getting pulled over if he's gonna get fucking shot or not. That's what I'm concerned about.
Me too.
Like that's what we need. Like that's like it not necessarily like police reform, but like we just need somebody to come out and say like this shit is not okay. Like this man never once, he might have like after the fact, but any sort of unarmed black person murder has never once defended that black person first. Has always came out and said.
I think black. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying he's always come out and defended the police or defended the like, for example, this just happened 2 days ago when the Trump supporters barricaded the Biden bus driving around and ran cars off the road to get the Biden bus. The first thing he said I don't see that they did anything wrong to the Trump supporters that barricaded this bus on the freeway. He tweeted, I promise everything.
I mean, you got to look at it. I mean, I don't know if you want to fact check it or not, but the bottom line is I think black people need to stop doing some whack ass shit when they get pulled over because there's no difference between us. Mike, let me finish. If I have to put my hand on the wheel and understand that they have a gun, black people need to do the same. Not all black people, but just the ones that think they're like, some of them have their phone out and they're like, what's going on here? You just got to follow the law, bro. And as an Arab American who sees both sides, there's got to be a law that everybody has to follow. There has to be. Otherwise, we're going to have fuckery, and we can't have fuckery. You know what I mean?
So that's that. In my opinion, saying black people need to do the right thing.
Let me speak on this as a black male.
Is such a shitty excuse.
Sure. No, it's not.
As a real life black person, guys.
For sure. For sure. No, you are. For sure.
Real life black person about to bring back life. Hold on real quick. Is he back now? Bow.
So I was saying about the cotton candy.
Yeah, my kid out there, so yeah, I got to go back and forth. But no, I'm here at the right moment because I feel like we've gotten to
This is a good moment, right? Because they're arguing black stuff, but we're black people, right? So Chris, you go ahead first. Did you get to hear? I guess what
I missed the part of the segue. Well, what was it?
I was saying what we need in America. Elias was talking about how Trump has the balls, and we need somebody that can defend us. And I'm saying we need somebody who's gonna defend us, but also like be transparent and honest with us and help us out in need. And I said I'm worried about like my black friends having to worry about getting pulled over and being scared and all this kind of stuff. When Trump, like he'll never defend that black person that gets murdered. He'll always defend the other side first. And I said, for example, when the Trump
he defends both, Mike.
Not true at all.
Don't say he's one-sided. Our president.
Hold on. Wait. For example, the first thing he tweeted.
I'll let Chris go because Chris is actually black male.
I'm explaining something.
Hold on, let me talk real quick.
The first thing Trump tweeted after that Trump barricade happened and ran the Biden thing off. I'm going to.
Don't say it to me. Chris, go ahead. Mike's going to look for that barricade.
So from what I'm gathering is we're saying that Trump doesn't advocate for the black when it comes to police brutality and stuff like that. He doesn't advocate for black people. That is 100% true, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if he did, he wouldn't sit here and scream law and order. To me, it's tone deaf.
You can't be a country without law and order, Chris.
No. Listen, let me explain to you why it's tone deaf.
Okay.
Nobody's saying that we shouldn't have law and order. However, when you have a community that is a group of citizens that make up a large part of this country, they also make a small part of the population, if that makes sense, are being targeted, and the system is set up again. The criminal justice system is targeting them. As president, it is you're not just president just for the right wing. You're not just president for your supporters. You're president of all. So clearly they have a problem with this so-called quote unquote law and order that you have, and they're screaming for. And that's where the issue is tone deaf, because we're sitting here saying, yo, we are being mistreated. We're being unfairly targeted. We're being brutalized at the hands of those who are sworn to protect us. Right. And he's not listening. He's not listening. He's not trying to understand or hear what black people have to say in that regard. It's all law and order, which is tone deaf as hell.
Well, I think he just talked to Ice Cube about the Black Platinum Plan. I think that's a good start to stop all the fuckery in the inner cities, because I don't disagree with you at all. I think it's unfair. I think I think we're at a point as a society. We're at a point where we have to just say it how it is, tell it like it is, and just cope with it and find ways to deal with it, man. Because it's like you said, bro. No matter what happens, if a black person's targeted by a cop, and that's the narrative that we all agree on. I think all three of us agree on that. I don't want Daniel's son to grow up or Chris, your son, to grow up like that. You know what I mean? Even though Daniel, your son's very light skinned. But all I gotta say is if we can agree on that, and you can still vote for Trump without being a racist. And that's my thing this whole time. When they started calling Trump supporters racist, it really pissed me off, because me and my family, a lot of my relatives, you see all the Arabs, the Chaldeans, a lot of white people, they all vote Trump. So I have some black friends that vote Trump, not many, but
let me explain something to you.
So as a black man who once like didn't absolutely hate Trump or tried to see the other side and give him the benefit of the doubt in a lot of these situations, I will fully admit, bro, like he fails, like he has no problem like bashing rioters or not even rioters, people like protesting and whatnot. But anytime it's like coming from the right side, like he fails. He neglects to approach it with that same energy.
I
And
agree.
then-
I agree, Daniel. I agree. He should start doing that with the same energy.
But he
Because
doesn't.
But
there
so
should be
he's
no
gonna-
controversy
at
around
this
it.
point for me, like it's been 4 years in, right? And every time a situation like that arrives, like he'll speak on one with a certain different type of energy that he does when it's the right side, and like
so
after the debate, and he failed to say, you know what I'm saying, disclaim
Exactly.
denounce racism in America. That coupled with the history of him,
so
having a
there's
different kind of energy towards those people, like
there's a few
that's where I lost
there's a
him
few
little bit.
instances where this has
Fair
happened.
enough.
For one, like when he attacks looters and rioters and calls them animals and criminals.
They
and all that
are
stuff.
animals, bro.
But when
What
the
are they doing to-
KKK,
what are they doing to our country, Mike?
when the KKK is in the Carolinas, fucking protesting,
Fuck the
rioting,
KKK.
he said they're good people.
He didn't say they're good people,
He
bro.
said
What
there
are
were
you
good
talking-
people on both sides. Yes,
No,
he
no,
did.
No, he said
He
they're
wasn't
good people.
talking about the KKK, fam.
Who do you think?
But he did not
He
denounce them.
Bro.
He did not say. Okay, so here's incident number 2, right?
It's
You guys,
this rally.
you guys have seen this video, correct?
I
This video
don't
of
know.
supporters-
Yeah, I didn't see this.
So
Neither did I.
Trump supporters.
Let them watch it. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah.
So Trump supporters almost run this bus off the road and forces Biden to miss his next stops. This truck literally.
Just let them watch it because you're giving it there.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So
Hold on.
video's over.
There's another video too, actually. You go
Okay,
back
so
to it.
hold on. But this is my point. Trump
me
always jumps to defend his side. So he says he automatically deflects and goes right to Antifa, rioters, looters, and he said these people did nothing wrong.
Okay, so those people did something wrong, and somebody has the ball.
And this is my
We talking about Trump, bro. We talking about Trump. We talking about somebody.
This is my point.
Like you can't say shit like that, bro. Because then you're empowering every one of those fucking assholes who almost killed fucking people.
Right.
There's obviously just
These
people
guys-
recording it, driving right next to them.
So those guys are assholes, plain and simple. If that's the narrative, those people are.
But
shitty.
the narrative, did you not watch the video?
Same way.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let Elias speak.
Okay.
You can't judge Trump supporters off a group that you see on TV. Because
But what
right
if-
now,
what if the
right
leader
now,
is
TV is
condoning it?
controlling
I'm not
everything,
judging
bro.
Trump supporters in this situation. This situation, I'm judging the fact that the president's claiming that. Hold on. So let's read the original tweet. It's from
Okay.
a reporter. She says, Justin, the FBI is investigating an incident in Texas on Friday involving the alleged harassment of a Biden-Harris campaign bus by motorists displaying Trump 2020 flags. A law enforcement source familiar with the investigation tells CNN. So then Trump retweets or quote tweet, whatever you want to call it. This story is false. They did nothing wrong. Like
Is
go
it
and play the video.
false? I mean, maybe the narrative skewed. Maybe
What narrative? What narrative? You watched the video. What narrative?
I mean, you see a bunch
There's
of
no narrative
okay,
to go along with that.
So-
You
Elias.
see them
you see
surrounding the
you
bus.
see a bunch
They're
of
literally
assholes. You
busting
see
the
a bunch
bus
of
in.
assholes surrounding a Biden van. What they've done to Trump and his supporters from the beginning, Chris,
Right.
this is
Oh
peanuts
my
compared to
God.
that,
Right.
fam.
You can't do that, bro.
Peanuts. Who
You
cares
are
if they surrounded his
we're
van?
talking
Did
about.
they
We're
rape
talking about
him?
one
I don't
instance,
fucking
now you're
care.
deflecting to
It's
You
something
start
else.
with that,
Because
Elias.
those people are shitty, but at the end of the day, that's not how every Trump supporter is. Those people are assholes.
We're not
That's
talking
all I
about the
have to
supporter,
say about
Elias.
that.
We're not talking about the
I
supporter.
do what we
We're talking
do.
about
Thank
the
you,
first fact
Gage.
that
Hey,
those
hey,
guys are
hey,
assholes.
let me say
Hey,
something
you
real
think
quick.
you're assholes right now?
You and Chris are
Trump
both talking at the same
Hey,
time.
is feeling.
Elias, I agree with you that not all Trump supporters are assholes or racist. However, this is how I judge those who vote for Trump. Because if I'm making millions of dollars, honestly, I'm looking at my money and I'm probably going to vote red just because I'm protecting my money.
Right.
However, it's when you agree with certain policies, like, I don't know, children being locked up at the border and they can't find their fucking parents, and some of those kids were placed in foster homes without being checked, and they don't know where the fuck those kids are.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
the
agree with
fact-
that either.
Or the fact, no, wait. Or the fact that with the whole, we already know about my stance in BLM. So like
Right.
that whole stance as a whole, the attacking our allies, the rolling back protections for the LGBTQ community. He sits there and says he's done so much for the gays when in actuality, he's tried to do everything Obama has done for the gays. Obama made it possible for them to get married. Obama made it possible for them to receive normal, basic fucking rights. And he's done everything he can to roll that back. See, that's what I judge Trump supporters on. If you agree with that shit, then to me, yes, you are homophobic. Yes, you are racist. And yes, you are xenophobic.
I think you're not a racist unless you're actually a racist, man.
Because we're getting off topic here. The thing with me, because we're not talking about Trump supporters.
Well, yeah,
we're talking about. I'm talking, bro. Look, I just want to say this because I've been trying this for 5 minutes, bro. We're not talking about his supporters right now. We're talking about the leader himself, right? Elias, you said yourself you agree that not all Trump supporters are good, and those guys in that video are assholes, correct?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
why is the president saying they did nothing wrong? Literally, the president from the president's Twitter. is tweeting on that story saying they did nothing wrong. Like, how's
Well,
that
I mean,
not?
what wound up happening? I mean, they did do something wrong. If that's the case, they did do something wrong. But if he's putting they did nothing wrong, then there's a problem with what he's saying. And here's the thing: Trump, he's a very factual guy, but he is not when he does tell lies, they're little lies that stretch things out, like shit like that. Like they did nothing wrong.
Did you just say
If the
he's a very
narrative is they were
factual
trying
guy?
to fuck over the Biden bus, he did something wrong. Plain and
Wait,
simple.
you just say that Trump is a very factual guy.
Me.
Yeah, you said Trump is a very factual guy.
But not when it comes to stuff like this. He'll be like, it's the biggest crowd yet. He'll lie about stupid small shit. But facts, I mean, dude, he can back his shit up. I can back it up too.
I've not seen that ever in a Trump anything.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen it. Just being real. I mean, Mike and Chris, you've seen a different narrative than me the past 4 years through algorithms, through all these little things. You guys have seen a different narrative. When you pay attention to Trump's the bad guy narrative from the beginning, you're gonna.
I gave the guy a fair shot. He has done nothing. He has done absolutely zero in 4 years. Absolutely nothing.
I mean, to me that sounds so ludicrous, bro. Because I can name a million things the guy's done off the top of my fucking head.
That has actually made true impact.
I mean, absolutely, it's made a true impact. What do you mean, bro? Your taxes are lower.
He's lied. He's lied more in the 2 debates that I saw him than ever.
Dude, Biden's the biggest liar ever.
That's a hold on. That's a typical Trump supporter thing to do, is deflect to Biden immediately. I did not say anything about Joe Biden. This is about Donald Trump, the leader of our country that's up for another re-election. Right. This has nothing to do with Joe Biden. This has everything to do with Donald Trump. You said he was factual. He is not factual at all. And that's what Trump supporters do. They deflect.
Says who?
Automatically.
Who says he's not factual? The fucking fake media? They're fake, bro. I talk to these people. They're fake.
He lies. He lies about everything.
Dude, he worked with the media. Listen to me. When he didn't renew The Apprentice, with Comcast, AT&T, he knows these guys. They're not small guys, bro. They're top.
This isn't the media, right? The media.
This is The Apprentice, bro, and they got sour at him. Plain and simple.
This has nothing to do with me being brainwashed by the media. This has nothing to do with.
I'm not saying you are.
This has everything to do with Trump saying something. I fucking look it up because I have the fucking power of the world in my hand.
He probably does lie about some things, but you can't call him a liar. Everything that's the thing. People lost their
What's
fucking
the definition
mind.
of a liar? Somebody who lies about some things.
What'd you say?
The definition of a liar is somebody.
Liar is a person who tells lies.
Right. So there's white lies, there's little white lies. You can stretch the truth because it's part of your personality, or you could make up facts.
First question I asked you was qualities about a leader.
Right.
He has zero of these, and
so
we're continuing.
So Bush, Obama, and Clinton were all corrupt. Obama was my favorite out of all 3 of them. But
Obama is hands down the greatest president we'll ever see in our lifetime.
What'd you say?
Obama is hands down the greatest president we'll ever see in our lifetime. Anybody who says otherwise either has issues that he was black or just fucking had too far up Trump's ass to say.
If he was corrupt, Mike, before you poison people with that sentence, if he was corrupt and Joe Biden did get that money from China, he did get that money from Ukraine, he did get that money from the mayor of Moscow's wife. Make no mistake that Obama knew about it, and there's a reason he didn't endorse so long. He wanted nothing to do with him. I liked Obama personally, bro.
Yeah, there's a reason why Obama didn't endorse Biden until later, and that's that.
He wants to be done with politics, man.
They made up a lie that he doesn't need his help. But that's bullshit.
Here's the thing: Obama's voice carries so much weight in the DNC. He wanted to see who came out first before he endorsed him because he didn't want to do one. He didn't want to pick one or the other. However, from what I've read, and I don't know how true this is, so I'm throwing this disclaimer out there. Obama did pull some shit behind the scenes to get Biden elected, like convince Elizabeth Warren to stay in the race to take votes from Bernie. That's conspiracy theory, and that's
no, you're not wrong. You're right about that.
But you didn't. But if I'm not wrong, then you can't say that Obama. That's why he didn't want to endorse him. He actually helped that man by using what you agreed that probably happened. Obama helped this man become the nominee.
Fair enough. He should have endorsed him a long time ago. He waited.
He didn't need his endorsements. He did everything else behind the scenes to get this man a nominee. Everybody knew Obama was an endorsement.
Chris, the DNC did everything because people like me and you that are normal, and Mike, I don't think any of you guys were going Biden. You guys were probably Bernie bros, right?
Bernie.
So the DNC didn't give their money to the Bernie people. They gave it to what they knew what was going to work, the Biden.
That's why Obama pulled his crap behind the scenes, and Elizabeth Warren stayed in the race longer than she should have. That's why when she dropped out, she didn't. Had Elizabeth Warren dropped out and got behind Bernie, that would be the most. That one would have been the Democratic ticket, and that would have been the most progressive Democratic ticket that we would have seen in a while.
Okay.
And this election would be over by now.
Even if that's you're right about that. But even if that's the case, Chris, it doesn't make it right. The DNC.
Hold on, guys. Just a quick update. 209 to
112. I think.
112.
Who's up?
Biden took California, Oregon, and Washington.
Woo!
But I think that's just as of now.
That's as of
right?
now. That's as of now. So what states are still?
Yeah.
Hey, Loki, he's got 61 states. 61 votes. He's still got to get.
And everybody watching too, like don't forget, there's over 1 million mailed-in ballots that people voted beforehand. So like,
No, it's more than 1 million, bro. It's 90 million people voted early.
Yeah.
How many?
90 million.
Wow,
Man, that's crazy. COVID, man. Fucking COVID.
So
got
I
people
think
going.
some of these states are going to get flipped.
Yeah, I mean they could be. I mean they got flipped before.
Just because we've been locked down forever, you know.
I
There's
think one thing that comes with Trump as a president is it's been controversial this whole time, and there's always been that like annoyance of pressure from the media bothering him. They won't let him do his job, and people rather get rid of that than have Trump. It's weird.
So like Elias, here's my thing, and I said this at the beginning. I'm not partisan. I'm not super pro Biden. I just want dude, I would wake up in the morning and be like, how is Donald Trump? Like, think about it. It's comical. Donald Trump's president of the United States. So this is my thing. Donald Trump, the leader of our country, the most powerful person in the world, has all the power in the world to literally crush all the controversy with fucking one tweet. One tweet. Half the people in the world in the country in the world hate him right now because they think he's a racist bigot.
How else is he going to communicate with people when the whole entire fucking media is just telling you he's a bad person the whole time?
Elias, he does it to himself with tweets like we just posted about saying they did nothing wrong, with telling the good boys to stand down and stand by.
I don't agree with him doing that, by the way.
Hey, let me explain something to you.
Like I said, Elias, I'm not attacking you. I'm just trying to figure out how he's so heavily loved, because the shit he does and the stuff he says is so just mind-boggling to me. I don't understand.
He'll go down as the most loved and the most hated president of all time. And I feel if you've been on the other side of the coin, Mike, if you've been on the other side of the coin, you've been seeing the good he's been doing the past 4 years. If you've been on the tail side, you've been seeing the bad he's been doing. And now we're at a standstill wondering what the fuck's going on.
Speaking of the good, because I like to get the listeners involved too. AVP Ron comments from YouTube. He says, opportunity zones, lower taxes, bringing back manufacturing, Middle Eastern peace deals, lowering foreign footprint, prison reform, which I love that. Platinum plan, lowest unemployment, school choice, and economy are I guess good points he's posting. So I agree with those, right? Like those are good things for us, right?
Question: platinum plan. What other platinum plan has been implemented?
When this shit's going on though, bro, I can't you got to be truthful about the bad. This can't be.
He's not perfect, bro.
Elias, let me ask you this. Sure. We talk about what Trump has done for Twitter should be open limits for POTUS. Yes, I definitely agree with that. No, but when we talk about his platinum plan, because that's what's really fucking is irritated as fuck by that. And we talk about, what he's done for quote unquote the black community.
Right.
Do you feel that it is counterproductive that he has eliminated diversity training and he's attacked the basically the mention of America's horrid past? And when it comes to federal jobs, like the Air Force now has canceled their federal their diversity training because again it's against federal law. Now he signed any HBCU who teaches or talks about white supremacy and things of that nature, they are at risk for losing their federal funding, which put HBCUs at risk, which Trump supporters like to say he gave them the most funding that they ever received. But yet I feel like it's more one of his ways of doing the quid pro quo. I'll give you this money, however, you can't talk about systemic racism.
To each his own, I guess, on that, because I mean, I got to look into that more, to be honest with you. But he did create the Space Force. Maybe he'll bring something back.
Okay, first of all, he didn't create the Space Force. Well, technically he did, but he really, in actuality, did not. All he did was split it from the Air Force. They were already a division of the Air Force. He just gave them their own shit. Kind of like the Navy and Army. I mean, Navy and Marine.
But aren't we going to space, Chris?
Look at the trend.
Fuck space. Nobody give a shit about space. You can't militarize space.
Then why'd you add me on MySpace? Truthfully, when it comes to Space Force, it takes balls to create something like that, man, because all the other countries are going up in the air, and they're all going to have satellites and missiles, and it's well needed, man.
It is nothing new. Space Force, he didn't do anything new. He didn't create anything new. All he did was create new ranks. They were already a division that were working within the Air Force. He just took them from out of the Air Force and made them their own. He didn't do anything new. This is nothing. Like,
but aren't we going to space too?
Hey guys, I want to touch this. I want to touch on this comment.
What were we saying?
I want to touch on a couple comments. I want to touch on a couple comments. So, Ron said people look past character and they look at their bank account. Money talks. True. It's not diversity training. It's critical race theory training, which divides us even further.
No, it's diverse. The Air Force diversity training, as an Air Force member, I know the Air Force diversity training is no longer allowed because of his executive order.
Yep.
Did you take part in it? The diversity training?
It's something. It's like one of like a little training shit that we got to do every every year or some shit like that. We're no longer doing it.
Explain to me what it is. What is that? What is diversity training?
To make it aware of
basically, like, we talk about bias and shit like that. Talk about implicit bias and being aware of the differences and like recognizing that shit in the workplace and what's allowed and what's not allowed. Like it's nothing like saying like white people are bad. Like no, it's no shit like that. Like and honestly, how do we have a country where we're called the great melting pot, blah blah blah, but we don't talk about diversity. We don't talk about accepting each other for what we are.
We should.
Diversity does not divide people. Not talking about it is what allows division to fester.
Not exactly. You have to talk about it the right amount. If you talk about it too much, it becomes a bigger problem than it is.
For who? The snowflakes who can't handle the fucking truth?
No, because you got them thinking about racism 24/7, and it fucks people up.
Imagine my fucking life. I can walk into a fucking store with somebody looking at me like, "Up, did you think I'm about to steal some shit?" Or like, dude, I did have somebody ask me. My son was my son once.
I've been called a terrorist, bro. I'm on your level. I feel you, man.
But I'm saying, I don't care if people have to think about racism all the fucking time.
But why would you bring it up? Minority in America. The news is guilty of bringing up race.
The media, bro. We live too much of it. People have to stop blaming the media for everything. Some of us live this shit. It's not the media. Well, we're telling you how our lives are.
Chris, I'm not Chris. I hashtag Black Lives Still Matter because of people like you and me that agree with the same thing.
What do you mean, people like me?
Fuck up.
What do you mean, people like you?
See, what had happened was, no, I'm playing. Here's the thing, man. It's at the end of the day, man. I've said this before. We're all fucking human. When you start getting everyone to think about race in a negative way and show racist things 24/7 to people, it's not healthy, bro. We start thinking about our differences rather than our similarities, and that's where the disconnect comes from.
Here's my thing. My thing is, it's okay to acknowledge our differences. It's okay. You're different than me, and that's the problem we have here. We don't say like, you know what, you're different than I am, and that's okay. We don't want to talk about it. No, let's talk about it because this country for too long has been divided racially. And the thing is, people think racism doesn't really exist anymore. It's a big of an issue.
It's been more at a division right now than it has been since the 60s.
Oh, definitely. And everybody thought that Obama was going to be the one. Dude, they boarded up D.C. ahead of the election. I've never seen that before. Like a hurricane's about to fucking come through. I've never seen that before.
And to be honest with you, he just empowers these white people who think that this actually fucking means something for them.
Why is that the narrative? I feel like he empowers
because of the narrative. The facts that back it up. Elias, under Trump, hate crimes have gone up. Look at the FBI. Says under Trump, hate crimes have gone up.
Maybe,
and that's not a coincidence.
As somebody who agrees that all this shit that I just put on the screen from Ron, opportunity zones, lower taxes, bring it back. As much as I agree that is good, it's not a narrative that he like influences like all the bullshit from like the race, like all the idiots on the, on the hardcore right. Like
Yeah,
like the
man.
tweet that we had up earlier,
Like
you know
the
what I'm saying,
people
is-
running fucking people off the road to get a Biden bus from further going. Like
Well,
that's
How
the
about
shit that you
people kicking Trump
is-
supporters out
like
of the
a-
restaurants, Mike? Why don't you stand up for them? They're Americans too, bro. Feel
What'd
me?
you say? I didn't hear what you said.
The Democratic restaurant owners that kick people that were Trump
You can
supporter
refuse
MAGA
business to
hats out of
anybody.
their
This is
restaurants.
America.
What is
You
this,
can refuse
fucking
business to
60s?
anybody. You
What'd
can
you say?
refuse.
I get what you're saying, Elias. I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying with that. And like, while that is wrong, however, if you want to compare apples to oranges, you're comparing apples to peanuts. Because me kicking you out of a store because I don't agree with your rhetoric, it's completely different than running somebody off a road where they can utterly kill in the dead.
But you're I agree with that. That was an
That was an
asshole
innocent
move.
They're
person.
both bad. They're
I
both
agree
bad.
with that. That was an asshole move. If
Both
that's the
bad,
narrative
both-
and that's what happened, those people are too far right. And when you start losing balance, I'll tell you guys my turning point. One day I was driving. I was working in Farmington Hills on my way to the office. I got a car wash, and I seen some guy with a bumper sticker. It said "fuck Trump" on there. And I lowered my window and I went to go spit on the guy. That's literally what I was trying to do. And then I stopped myself. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? This is crazy. This is madness. From that moment on, I've chilled out and I've tried to be a more balanced person. Because
And
when you
that's
get to that point, you're too biased.
Let me ask you, what got you to that point that you wanted to do that? Like, what?
Just
Where did you realize you got so like
YouTube videos, just YouTube video after YouTube
so
video,
propaganda?
algorithms. Not
Pornhub.
not all of it's propaganda. Just too much of anything is not good for you, bro. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I think what it boils down to, and as someone who will like, completely on the fence because I can see that the shit that Trump does, but I also see like the bullshit clearly. It comes down like which evil do you want? Do you want the evil that like you don't know how it's affecting you when there's like $3.5 million like trade deals going on between like foreign countries and like your leaders and shit like that, or do you want the guy who's riling up the retard like racist to do stupid shit like run people off the truck because you have or spit on someone because they have a sticker on their car? You know what I'm saying? It depends like which evil like affects you most and which evil are you most comfortable living with.
But
Which one's the narrative that you want to go through? Because if both are true,
narrative, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
That's
those
his
are
favorite word. I'm gonna give him a sweatshirt that says narrative on it. Like
Facts, man.
like Elias is like favorite.
And this is how I feel.
big
This is how I
facts.
feel. When I drive up Dixie Highway, I'm coming home, and there's this guy who has a house. He literally has a Trump train. So this is the craziest thing to me. I don't understand where all the support, this like heavy presidential support came from. And in my mind, it automatically triggers one thing: this person's just a racist idiot. That's what I think. That's what I think when it goes to this extreme. So this guy, there's like 4 houses in a row. This guy literally has he built a train. It's like 4 or 5 trailers together, and it says Trump train. He's got like 25 Trump flags hanging from his house. Big, beautiful house. I think the same thing. This is the same person that's going to go on a road and try to run somebody off the road because they have the Biden sticker on the back of their car, or they're gonna freaking something stupid to one of my black friends. Like these are like real thoughts that like really happen. So and that's not even that. Just it's like at that guy's house. Like, I've never seen the support. Obama had a lot of public support, though. I will tell you that.
Right.
In general, but the support that Trump has gotten from people that have that clearly don't do research, that it's their first time voting, whatever the case is, or just too blind to see all the fake, propaganda and treason or whatever you want to call it against the guy's name or for the guy's name. It's scary to me. It's cult-like. It's crazy, bro. It just does not make sense to me whatsoever. The fact that you had a thought about spitting on somebody and assaulting them over a sticker that said "fuck Trump" is like what?
Yeah, it's like exactly. So I had to calm down. Literally, I stopped in my tracks and I'm like, this isn't right. I shouldn't be emotional about something. So I about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and I learned to kind of just be accepting of not so much it is what it is, but you got to be accepting of other people's thoughts without reacting to it at the end of the day, because you're just going to swoop down.
Right?
What'd you say?
Like in my head, you can't react off emotion solely.
No, you can't.
So, and that's a big part. I mean, that goes into a lot of stuff,
Right?
Like Frank,
You know
regardless.
what I realized from all this is that Elias, like the whole like spitting on people and the anger that comes with for your candidate and all that, it's all one. I won't even say it's one-sided because it is one. I haven't seen many Biden supporters attack anybody, but it's one candidate.
They call them Antifa. They don't call them Biden supporters.
Even in 2012 when Mitt Romney ran, when John Kerry ran, you didn't see Republicans, and that's why there's a difference between a Republican and a Trump reporter. There's a big difference, or a Trump supporter. There's a big difference because Republicans back then didn't act like that. Like you argue back and forth, but I remember when John McCain was doing his townhouse and the old lady got up there and she called Obama a terrorist and he took it from her and was like, no, he's a good man. We just happen to disagree on some things. Like that was a part where we could disagree, but we could get along.
That's why I liked Obama. I think Obama just, I mean, in terms of like demeanor, Obama.
No, that was McCain. That was McCain who protected Obama. What I'm saying is, it's not the Republicans who act like that. It's the Trump supporters who act like that because he himself puts it out there where he just exuberates his negative energy, where he just attacks everybody on Twitter. You don't
maybe you could say that.
He gets it that aggressive when he does shit like this. Like he's telling you, like this news reporter, the verified badge, this is false. They did nothing wrong. The people we just watched try to run a fucking car off the road.
Or when those militia dudes tried to, they had the plan to assassinate Whitmer. He blamed her.
Hey, those were the Boogaloo boys, bro. Those weren't Trump supporters.
I don't care who it was. He still blamed her. I'm not saying he blamed her.
Some form of voice.
Liberate Michigan. Like he tweets and he says these things that propels this whole.
But he's a fighter, bro. The guy, dude, they've been after his neck for the last 4 years. The dude's in fighting mode.
Because of that, though. Because Elias,
he's
because of that.
Mike, they've been literally at his throat for 4 years.
Elias, if we're in high school and you see me pick my nose and eat it every single day, am I going to start
take a
getting
picture of it and send it to Daniel right away?
Hey,
that's what I'm saying.
Let's not forget or act like the media didn't attack Obama for wearing a tan suit. Google it. Like they tried the president. It doesn't matter.
The Obama narrative about him being Muslim and not born in the United States was there all 8 years.
And that was Trump's doing.
That was Trump. Trump did that. I'll be real about it. Trump called him out, and Trump said, "Hey, I think he might be Muslim. Who knows?" But Trump also
Muslim. It doesn't matter.
Trump also did bring up.
He's racist.
He also said the guy's got an Arabic name, and it shows your birth certificate. So yeah, guys. Trump's not perfect.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to have your guys' like logic right now. Trump isn't perfect, bro. He said some outlandish shit. I think most agree with that. There's extreme Trump supporters. There is some racist Trump supporters, but the vast majority of us, if you look at the electoral map, you'll see it. We're good people, and we're just in the cracks of what's right and what's not right. Because a lot of people I talk to, they think that Black lives still matter. They think blue lives matter. They have opinions on different things. And when you get pushed to one side, it's fucked up because people are going to argue with you about it. You know what I mean?
The problem is
Elias, why are
my best friend's black.
Elias, why are you voting for Donald Trump?
I mean, he's been doing a good job.
All right, so why did you, let me go back. Why did you vote for Donald Trump initially?
I didn't like Hillary. I didn't think he was going to win, but he was a fighter, dude. The dude's been fighting. Everyone told him he couldn't win. I understand there's some shady shit on both sides, but at the end of the day, man, I mean, what the Clintons did with Hillary and Benghazi, I mean, I'm sure you know a lot about Benghazi just looking into it, but I think they're a horrible couple. I think
that's hold on. This is just like, this is facts. So John just said
John Martin's a heavyweight professional MMA fighter. That's my boy down at Elias.
What up, John?
He said, "Nah, I'm a fighter. Trump's a liar. Even if he isn't racist, he makes racists feel comfortable. That's a problem."
That's not true, John. And you need to stop. Stop influencing people with that opinion. Not everybody feels that way, but I respect.
You ain't gonna keep that same energy to his face, though.
No. Hold on. Here's the thing,
man. I don't care.
Here's the thing, Elias.
He may get heated. It is what it is. But his opinion doesn't mean it's right just because he's an MMA fighter.
Elias, hold on. Do majority of white supremacists favor Trump?
I mean, what kind of narrative is that?
It's not a narrative.
Do a majority of black people favor Obama?
Yes.
Do a majority of
okay. So if you said, well, no. Here's the thing. So if you said that black people favored Obama because Obama catered to black people during his election, would you say that's a fair statement?
Obama. Yeah.
Would you say it's a fair statement, though, right?
Minorities, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was transitioning that to Antifa.
White supremacists, would you say maybe these white supremacists caters to Trump because he fails to denounce them or admit that they're like fucking?
If that's the narrative, then yes.
Wait,
course.
wait. I'm about to use his own shit against him because we're about to go to Antifa, right? You said about how Antifa caters towards Democrats. Is that what you were going with that?
Of course,
Me?
they do.
So then, what's the opposite of that? So on the other side, when you say white supremacists would lean towards Trump because
Fuck white supremacists. I don't. If I seen a white supremacist right now,
listen. Nobody's asking you to denounce the white supremacy. We're saying that Trump makes racists feel comfortable.
Why is that the narrative, bro? Like that's
It's
just
not a
such a dumb
narrative,
narrative.
bro.
The guy's doing awesome for the country,
bro.
If you want to say he
That is
makes
true,
racists
too.
feel
They're both
comfortable,
true.
I'll say
They're both
Obama
true,
makes
but
Antifa members feel comfortable.
Both
Fair
statements can be true, bro. It's-
Fair enough,
Right?
bro. I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
wrong,
100%.
right?
All right.
Daniel?
So
I was
okay.
saying,
So
I was
let
agreeing.
racist topic gets heated. I mean, at the end of the day, I think
I understand
what?
racism, bro, because I'm an Arab American,
my
bro.
problem falls is that shit.
so. I think
But as far as a
Yeah.
leader, like policy wise, like yeah, he's done good shit. Like it's weird. I don't.
some of his policies, yes.
very
Some of his
frustrating.
policies,
no, but it's also it's two-sided. It's two-sided. So I grew up like just outside of Detroit, 8 Mile and Gratiot, right? Like I felt comfortable there at that time because there wasn't a lot of hostility. Like black people feel uncomfortable right now with everything going on, but like white people feel uncomfortable too, and that's not healthy. That's not good. Like it shouldn't be that way, regardless. Either way, you see what I'm saying? Because of what's happening, like with the lack of white support towards Black Lives Matter and black people, it doesn't help us either.
Well,
Because he like I said earlier, like qualities of a leader, bro. Like he's not there as a leader. He's not there as a leader. For our
Mike,
country.
the people funding Black Lives Matter. I agree, Black Lives Matter.
I'm not talking about Black Lives Matter as a group.
I'm just telling you, the people funding them are George Soros and Mike Bloomberg, and I know that to be a fact. Look it up. It's no
Hey,
secret.
Elias, let me explain something to you about the
They
Black
have
Lives
beef with Trump, bro. You guys got to connect the dots.
Elias, let me explain something to you about the Black Lives Matter movement.
On this level, it's got to be
Elias,
here, bro.
I'm gonna explain something to you about the Black Lives Matter movement. Most black people don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter as an organization. We get behind Black Lives Matter for the mantra, for what it means, for standing against police.
Me too.
We give a fuck who funds it because we don't see that money. We don't give a fuck. They didn't come down and fund the walk down Hall Road. We don't give a fuck. I stand behind it because yes, my black life fucking matters. And the issue with that is when I say Black Lives Matter and it offends you, then
Doesn't offend me.
I'm not talking about you directly. I'm saying in general, and it offends you. It does something that says a lot about you. Because here's my issue: when we came up, Black Lives Matter actually started when Trayvon Martin got killed under Obama, 2015. Obama did it, and it's been a thing ever since. It's not just against police brutality; it's against systemic racism as a whole too. Because as we see with George Zimmerman still walking around bullshit and fucking with Jay-Z and Beyonce every 2 years. So it's not just against the police. However, answer me this. If you're, and I know you agree with Black Lives Matter, but I'm explaining to you why those who are against Black Lives Matter, to me, it's racism. Because one, there's no fucking thing as a fucking blue life.
I think most people, real quick, Chris, I think most people agree that Black Lives Matter and agree with the cause. But I feel like at some point, it started getting out of control, making white people. I mean, they started calling white people Karens, which I get. Don't be that sensitive.
No. That's not why they started calling white people Karens. White people not all white people call Karens. Even
Karen
white
was a thing even before Black Lives Matter.
Not really. No, it wasn't.
A Black Lives Matter thing. A Karen is somebody who just unnecessarily just starts acting a whole fool for not minding.
I know some Karens, bro. Trust me.
Karens aren't just white women. There can be some other race of Karens. That's not. Don't even make Karens not even a race.
So why did Black Lives Matter? Their partner Instagram. I posted this a couple weeks ago. Their content partner on Instagram put, if you vote for Trump, you're a racist. Why would so how?
Let me explain to you why. Because there's a such thing. What we talk about the issue with racism and Black Lives Matter.
But that's bullshit, Chris. You can't call white people.
Listen. I'm not agreeing with you. You asked the question. I'm explaining it to you.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Because here's the thing: people say that if you don't agree with Black Lives Matter, like me, if you don't agree with Black Lives Matter, I think you're racist, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because we've gotten so used to racism being down south 1950s in your face racism.
Right.
It's not like that anymore. Because now you get that subtle racism. You get that shit where you know that it's fucking racist, but you just can't pinpoint it exactly. But if you're black, if you know, you know. And it's shit like that. So for me to say Black Lives Matter and you don't agree with it, I'm gonna explain to you again. I'm gonna further my explanation. When say you and your brother, right? You and your brother, you are twins. If Jake was to go to my mom and say, "Mom, like I matter," and she just says, like, she just blows it off, would Jake not feel some type of way?
But But yeah,
Wait,
of course.
yes, he would go some type of way, right? So wouldn't you want your mother to be like, what am I doing to make you feel that you have to tell me that you matter? Right?
Right.
Black people are literally doing that. That is literally what they are doing. He didn't say he mattered more than you. He just said that he mattered. But nobody gives a fuck enough to hear what black people are saying when we say Black Lives Matter. They just immediately cast us off. But yet you have a president who comes out and has denounced Black Lives Matter multiple times.
He denounced the group, not the cause.
Here's the thing.
He's never stood up for the cause one time.
About the
Yes, he
group.
has. Don't, Mike. You got to do your research, bro.
Elias, at what point has he said that? All right, first of all, at what
he
point
visited the families of all the people that were shot?
Listen. At what point has, all right, let me take that bait for a minute. At what point has Black Lives Matter as an organization done anything horrible?
I mean, they first started.
How many people have they killed? How many people have the Black Lives Matter as an organization killed?
How many people?
Yes.
It depends. It depends.
No, how many people have Black Lives Matter as an organization? No, depends. But just say the number. We'll come
probably a good amount.
Probably yes, because we're gonna fact check this shit.
Right.
Because we can pull up
as a country, we need to fact check this shit. I agree.
I'm just saying because you can't say that. You can't give me a number. You can't say how many people they killed. Black Lives Matter. People are against Black Lives Matter as an organization because you keep going back to Soros, who's they're funded by. You have yet to give me anything substantial.
I'll give it to you now, bro.
Organization. I don't care where the money comes from.
It's because the media is shoving it down everybody's throats, and not in a bad way. Not like Black Lives Don't Matter, Chris. It's not like that. They're doing it in a different way, and they're using it politically. And it's not so much about black people anymore. It's about Trump. It's about bringing down Trump and why he's so evil. They're doing the same thing with the virus. In my opinion, as an Arab American, the dude's not that racist. I watch all of his rallies.
Wait, you say not that racist, so there is a level of racism.
I mean, there's subtleties. If you want to overthink them, there's subtleties. But I mean, if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Listen. I got this water bottle, right? If I put a little bit of poison here, is it a little poison or is the whole thing fucking contaminated?
Ask Joe Biden. Is he racist for saying if you don't vote for me, you're not black?
This isn't about Joe Biden.
I've got a whole podcast about Biden being a racist. We're talking about Trump. You said there was a little racism. So I got my water right here, and I take a little poison and I put in here. Is a little bit of it poison? If I can drink a little bit of it, I'm good. Or is the whole thing contaminated?
I'll tell you what, it's only contaminated. It's only contaminated if you want to use that perspective. But there's a whole other side to it. The media blows little things he says out of proportion, Chris. They blow little small stuff out of proportion.
I'm talking about what you just said. There's no such thing.
Okay, so it's one thing to say that Muslim people, like what he did with a Muslim ban in the Middle East, right? It's like I told you before. On one hand, you have extreme Muslim people, then you have the good Muslim people, and are the people on the left are afraid to use the word Islamic terrorists for some reason. Okay, so but when Trump says he's doing a ban in those countries, there's subtle racism, but it doesn't mean he's a racist. He's doing it, and like what you said, Chris, we got to make action on demand. All
right. So I think we've gotten the point down that Trump does some bad shit. Like he does some stupid stuff. He does influence. Like he doesn't. I'm not gonna say he outright encourages them, but he doesn't denounce like racism and stuff like that. What I do want to be fair, I do want to look at like the stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable about Joe Biden, or if anybody like what sketchy stuff. Can we look at like the evils on that side too? I guess to keep it fair.
Yeah.
ASB. I'll go over some comments real quick before we get into that because there are
not white supremacists, but this stat is so ridiculous because who comes out and says, "Yep, white supremacists right here. Add me to the list." Right here, nobody.
I mean, I never really meet any. I'm sure there's some around, but I never really met anyone that said, "Hey,
brother, have you ever seen the KKK's leader's house in Howell?"
But why is that your concern? The KKK was around before Trump. You know what I mean? They're shitty people. Let's focus on the good things that are going to help our country rather than talking about KKK leaders.
Elias, not helping what the fuck's going on in our country, which is one of the biggest issues right now in our country, is racism against black people.
I mean, that's what I mean. The narrative. That's the narrative. The media can control whatever narrative they want. You feel me? Doesn't always have to be like that. Nobody in this has enough balls to call them out either, bro. I'm just gonna say it. It's not all about race. I think if you put a white and a black person in a room together, they'll vibe, they'll get along. And only if the media keeps talking about race, there'll be some tension and be like,
Let me
over time.
Elias, let me explain something to you. As a black person who grew up north of 8 Mile for over half my life at this point,
Sure.
I can walk into a room and immediately feel if somebody is racist, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I can find it by the way they vibe with me, by the way they look at me, by the way they talk to me.
It's like a gut feeling. I feel you.
No, not even a gut feeling. Body language, bro. You don't even have to say shit, and I can read it.
Sometimes
yeah,
I will. Maybe,
Ever
no,
been
there's
to
not.
Oxford?
There's some people just like uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I won't necessarily call it, but that is like a form of like, I don't want to say it's a form of racism, but you could always tell sometimes.
Stereotypical bias. Like there's some people who are like, and there's some people like outright. Like my ex-girlfriend of mine, her dad, whenever I walk in the house, would never say hi, would never say anything, would just look at me, look at her, and then just walk out.
That's because that big thing swinging has young daughter singing, motherfucker. That's good.
I mean,
speak easy.
It happens so often, man. Like in sales, I see it all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like being a manager in sales, like I've literally called. I had one of my sales associates when I worked at Bob's would literally walk away if he was up on the door. He had the next front. He would walk away from the door if he saw a black family walking in because he assumed that they were broke, assumed that they were window shopping, whatever the case was.
I went to a barbershop out
I
here.
don't even want to throw it in. Yes, he's a huge Republican too, probably relevant, but hey, he's fucking
Not really.
I went to a barbershop out here, bro. I went to a barbershop out here that is on 14 and Harper. I'm not gonna say the name, but they specialize in their name. They specialize in a certain type
Money
of thing. And I went in there and like, sign in, check in on fucking Facebook, blah, blah. So I did all that shit.
Right, bro. I was there like 2 weeks ago, bro. I definitely felt yeah.
So I sat down. I'm like, granted, I'm a walk in, but I can tell who's ahead of me sitting on the thing. So he's like, "Oh, she'll get you," and I could look at them like, look at each other like,
Wait, hold on, who is this?
whisper. I literally watched people get their haircuts before I just got up and walked out. That was their
Hold on. I hope this person's trolling. Jay Harry, we live. Is this Jake?
That's Jake.
This is Jake, bro.
Yeah, Elias, who was that kid that was on the screen earlier? She's come back. I don't know who she is.
What you say?
What are you doing? You're an asshole.
Jake's funny as fuck. Hey, no, but guys, racism exists. I mean, it's always been around. I think the more we bring it up and talk about it, it's a problem.
For sure.
But I mean, it's been there, and we got to just start healing, man. That's
Elias, how do we do it? Hold on. How do we heal? How do we heal? What do we do?
We start looking at the good things and talking about our similarities.
No. We can't just look at good things and forget about racism is prominent in America right now.
Mike,
we can't just say, Trump just signed a bill. Like,
Mike,
what? Like,
you got to start
Trump
looking at the good,
signed a
bro.
tax plan bill that makes black people more relevant. No, it doesn't. Like, how do we do
looking
that?
at the good and everything, and the news has a responsibility.
Brother, it doesn't just go away, man.
Mike, when you go on Facebook, I noticed this 2 years ago. Let's say I'm a black person. I'm scrolling down Facebook. I watched a video of a lady calling a black guy an N-word. Facebook groups all their videos together. So you scroll down. There's another video, same content. You scroll down. You start feeling heated and emotional, like, what the fuck? White people are evil. And that's just how it is. And Republicans on Facebook are getting the same thing. They're getting positive Trump stuff.
You can't really do that from the perspective of a black guy because you aren't black.
This is how it stops.
I'm an Arab, bro. Listen, I'm close enough to a black person.
No, you're not. No, don't say that. No, you're not, bro. Don't say that. No, you're not.
Hey, Chris Jenkins said I was yesterday, so talk to him.
Guys, this is how it stops. Right? Something happens that goes viral against a black person, whether getting killed, whatever the case is. The leader of the fucking country comes out and says, hey, this is wrong. This cannot happen ever again. They make that fucking person an example for everybody to see, and bam, fucking the emotion changes drastically just like that. Not flipping the narrative and saying police are good people or whatever the fucking
they
case
are good
is.
people.
Okay, but in that moment, that person.
Mike? Why don't we do both? Why can't we
it's not we. It's not we.
Pay attention to these people.
It's not we, bro. It's not we. It's the fucking.
It's we as a country, bro. We're a country, man.
But if the leader of the country says otherwise, then it's not we, bro. It's fucking more than half the country is on his side.
Hey, look at the amount of protests and marches that took place over this spring.
I love the protests on the whole road. I love that shit, bro.
I appreciate
you about that, man. The protests on Hall Road, I agree with. Rioting and looting is all bullshit. And if
100%, 100%. But
I'm I'm gonna just point out one little thing from that. We talk about the violence and the looting. I just want you to know that the FBI did come out and say that the right-wing militias and right-wing groups were infiltrating BLM protests and posing as them and starting shit. As one guy who shot up the Minneapolis Police Department with an AK-47 happened to be some right-wing militia dude, and they arrested his ass. You can't necessarily blame all the rioting and looting on Black Lives Matter and on the on the left side as well. Just
For the record, usually it's white
Most
people.
of those people, Chris, are not even black. They're white.
Oh yeah, I know. I
like
It's weird.
Logan Paul.
rally down in Detroit.
Yeah.
The rally down in Detroit that happened, and like, bro, it's like people from like it was legit a bunch of shit ton of white people out there, maybe like 3 or 4 black people.
From downriver, from like wine.
Go the fuck home. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
All
But
right,
it's
Elias,
annoying, bro. I agree with you. on
Elias,
that.
because I want you, because I want to look up some shit about Joe Biden as well. I
Yeah.
want to be equally like, you know what I'm saying? I want the dirt on him as
Get
well.
off topic.
Sure.
So before we move on, can we agree that like, as a leader, at times Trump does fail to denounce some of the dumb shit. Like we'll agree that's like one of the bad traits about Donald Trump. He has good traits. They can both be true. He's opportunity zones.
He could word his stuff better, absolutely. Because
Okay.
because when it's divisive, it's not good. It's controversial right away.
Okay, so someone so what's some stuff that we could look up about Joe Biden that would make others like come like what's some shit? Because I do want to play both sides, right? Like I don't want
Right.
you know. Because I agree that because there's some sketchy shit, but like how's that not sketchy about the Ukraine? Like $3.5 million.
Very
Your son-
sketchy.
After you were withholding a billion from a certain country, like that is like what the
What's the
fuck
time
is,
frame on that? When did that happen?
I think it's 2018. I will fact check it right now though.
It was 2016. I want to say it happened.
It had to. If he got that 3.5 bill in 2018, that has nothing to do with his daddy. And
He
that
got the 3 million
well,
from Ukraine in 2016 or 2015, maybe one of those. But I'm not sure about the Moscow.
It went
one.
But here's the thing: it also went to an investment fund. So, I mean,
Investment fund my ass, bro.
but
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
is it defunct or is it still going? Is that investment firm still operating right now?
Dude, they try covering things up.
But that's the same
Chris,
way,
I'm gonna
like-
tell you, LLCs, they make these LLCs with all these companies, like for like AT&T, for example. You know, they bought Time Warner Cable. Their main LLC is what is it? Time Warner, right? Or Warner. What is it, Daniel?
It's Time Warner.
Time Warner. That's the official company name. But they're AT&T, right? And then you got these branches underneath them. And LLC pretty much works the same way. But when you start acquiring these branches underneath them, and LLC pretty much works the same way.
Are you Elias?
But when you start acquiring, yeah, it was me. My bad. I'm like, what the fuck? I think I just turned the speaker on accident. But yeah, man. I mean, when you start doing that, it's shady. Bottom line.
But no, Elias. So what is it about Joe Biden that
It's creepy.
That's it? Because he's creepy?
No, he's creepy. There's corruption between him and his family. I'll tell you one thing about Joe Biden. He really surprised me during both debates because he's been a gaffe machine, a straight up gaffe machine this whole time. I couldn't take him seriously. And during the debates, it's like, I don't know if he like came to life or was doing coke or Adderall, but he seemed pretty normal and he said things that I liked. You know what I mean? So like, where the hell's that been? Number one. And number two, Joe Biden is very old fashioned and old school, man. Like his slogan is the malarkey, no more malarkey. How the fuck is that gonna affect our kids, bro? What are they gonna think? What's malarkey?
Is that really his slogan?
Yeah, that's his slogan, no more malarkey.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What's shit that scares you about him becoming a leader? Like
I think Kamala Harris and the DNC are gonna control him, bro. Straight up. I think they're gonna dump him off a cliff and they're gonna take over. Straight up.
what do you think? What's their narrative in controlling him? Like what's the end game? You know what I'm saying?
Globalism. This is one giant collective. Between the World Health Organization, Bill Gates, the DNC. There's a lot of moving pieces, bro. But at the end of the day, their mission is to stop Trump. They want to install. If you watch the Event 201 videos, they want to install a one world society. And I'm not being a fucking weirdo right now, going, Illuminati, blah blah blah. But watch those videos and you'll see that I'm absolutely correct about that. They want to do it for health. They want a one world system for health where they could distribute vaccines and etc. Now, like I said, I'm not going to take Bill Gates' vaccine, but if there's one that works, I'll take it.
Let me ask you this, Elias. What's the difference between, because I mean you said you like some of the stuff that he said, and like you said that he's creepy and like he's some corruption
Right.
on Joe Biden's end, which means the same can be said for the other one. So
Right.
what between the two is the differences that's stopping you from supporting Joe Biden and supporting Trump? What policies, not physical or characteristics, what policies do they have that makes you favor Trump over Biden?
I mean, dude, I couldn't even tell you a Biden policy, man. I don't. It's not like I'm irresponsible and not learning it. The dude just bores me to death, and I feel like he's not really talking to people. He's not being important about whatever he has planned, and whatever he does talk about, Trump's already done. So it's like, what the fuck do I
Trump
do
policy
now?
makes you want to vote for Trump?
I mean, dude, Trump's proactive. He's getting shit done. He's signing executive orders. He's doing what we got to do, man. And the media's got everybody so wrapped around their finger trying to make him lose right now. The people are only seeing the bad in what he does. But if you're on the other side of the coin like me, it's all positive stuff. The truth is somewhere in the middle, though, you guys.
Elias, answer my question and give me one goddamn policy from Trump that you like.
I mean, the Veteran Care Act, veterans could go see doctor of choice.
Okay.
I love that. that.
The VA is fucked up, and it's been needed to be.
It is, and they're miserable, bro. These are like, I respect you, Chris, and I valued. I told Chris to come on here, Daniel, because I talked to you about it prior, but he's in the military and he's got substance to his words, man. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that because you're in the military and you understand the VA. You know how it is, man. You know what I mean? You're not that old, but you're a veteran regardless.
I mean, I see it a lot. Thank God I haven't had to deal with them too much. But this has got to be Jake. This has got to be Jake down here.
No, this is it's actually my nephew.
Not even.
I think he makes a good point though, because like if we try to look up the bad stuff, we really couldn't come to anything. Maybe we should look up some of the good stuff. Just to.
Yeah. Google is stopping the good stuff from popping up.
Okay,
so much.
You can look at his voting record or his proposed
argument. Jerry, for one, you're underage, so like this is sort of relevant. For two,
no, I'm joking.
So no, this comment. So for two, like when this argument comes up, like this man has never when has he been in a position of true power to where anything he has done has not been overshadowed by somebody else ahead of him or in front of him? I'm serious.
So I looked up Joe Biden's voting record. Joe Biden has produced, if you look it up, I mean, granted, he's been there for like 40 years. He's produced like 40 different, if you go on like the page on the website, it's like 40 different pages for all this legislation he's introduced. However, like most legislation, it doesn't go through. He can't pass it himself. But on one act that he passed that continuously gets, what bill is it? I think it's the NDAA or something. It's some amendment to the NDAA that he passed, and it continuously gets repassed. It gets like updated like every so often, every couple of years. Mm-hmm. But mainly, it's all one piece of legislation that he keeps.
I mean,
over and over again.
Joe Biden is one of those guys where, to be honest with you guys, I feel like he doesn't know where he is half the time, respectively. I'm not trying to be too biased, but I'm going to tell you this, Chris. If maybe he does have some good policies, but I mean, Trump, when Trump's been doing such a good job with the country, some people could look at me like I'm crazy. But like I said, if you're on the other side of the coin, you see all the good he does.
All right, so Elias, you keep saying that, but you have yet to give me like hardcore substance. So when you say look at some of the good stuff that he's done, you look like he's done good for the country. However, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Some people ain't worked since June or since March.
Stimulus check, bro. Stimulus.
Dude, we've had one stimulus check for $1,200. One.
Not true.
What other
people are still receiving unemployment right now. Nancy Pelosi is holding up the next stimulus check.
Okay, first of all,
to play devil's advocate, though, to be fair, like, what did you guys want done? Like what like about the coronavirus? Like what could have been done differently? Because there's a whole new like shit.
The government response initially could have been, because it's already come out that Trump knew about it earlier and he wanted to play it down because he didn't want to cause a panic. Those tapes already got released, so that in itself has made that right there could have saved millions of lives.
He closed flights from coming into China, Chris.
Listen. First of all, he closed it from China. However,
kind of like I could say, like, hey man, if I would have did this differently, I would have been a millionaire. If I would have played these numbers last night instead of if I would have played those winning numbers from today, like
that's completely different than knowing what the really numbers are and then not doing it because you didn't want to cause a panic. He knew it was bad and he purposely didn't do anything about it. Also, this media is plenty of misstep. One, yes, while he may have tried to close it off to China, it wasn't 100%. And a lot of these cases were coming in from Europe because
why was China letting
Mike,
people?
I
Why
agree.
was China letting their people?
That's a good ass
China
question.
stopped their people from coming in, but they're letting them fly out, right?
okay,
No,
again, we cannot control what China does. Who gives a fuck what China does in their response? China's
Right.
response doesn't necessarily affect
And-
our response,
It's
especially
their fault. It's China's fault.
it doesn't matter. Our response is not China's fault. We actually shipped China. Look it up. Google it right now. We actually shipped China millions of tons of PPE.
And they shipped us tons too.
No, they did not. They actually bought it from us.
Where do you think the masks come from, bro?
Bro,
not gonna do it
that was
right now.
after Trump, instead of giving it to the states, shipped it out to China. So then we had to actually buy more because we didn't have enough. Because he didn't treat it as seriously as he should have.
Well, if you look up that event 201 I was telling you about, they talk about that and what they should do, and they didn't do it. So I don't think Trump's shady on that part. I think the rest of the people are shady.
201 is not the United States government.
It is.
Who is it?
It's the war games.
It's the war. Okay, so again, when did that happen? What year?
October 2019.
And who was in charge of the U.S. government in 2019?
Donald Trump.
So how do you say it's not his fault?
Because Bill Gates is there with the head of China.
Bill Gates is
the
not
CDC,
in charge of the United States government.
But he's working on the vaccine, right? So you got Johnson & Johnson, Bill Gates, the head of the CDC, the World Health Organization, Google, all these companies working together, right? And then you ask yourself, what the fuck's going on? Why are we getting censored? Why, it all has to do with that. I'm telling you guys,
Elias,
I know my shit.
Also, Elias, remember that back in January, not back in January, dating back to the Obama administration, they set up a whole task force for pandemics to study and to prevent pandemics. Donald Trump disbanded the entire thing, got them all out of Wuhan because it was based in Wuhan, got them all out of there, and fired the head of that task force in January.
He did. Yeah, you're right. He did.
Jerry, I meant it was irrelevant at the time. You fucking asked it, not irrelevant in general, dude.
You're not my dad.
Say hi.
Oh, that was perfect timing. I didn't even see it.
So yes, Trump definitely, the American response is definitely on the president. Now, the virus getting leaked, you want to blame it on China, that's one thing. However, the American response is on the United States government because we're still debating on how to respond to this. Trump is walking around here like, oh, no big deal. You don't need to wear a mask. Open it back up. Send the kids back to schools. Blah, blah, blah. When yet we still have people dying.
It's on the United States government, but when you got Bill Gates, the CDC, we're taking our information from Anthony Fauci, who's boys with Bill Gates, I think he went to Harvard. I'm pretty sure. I got to look into that. But all these people are connected. And it's fucked up because people like me and you are wondering what's really going on.
While we sit here and debate some conspiracy theories about who's connected, who went to high, people are dying. So
it ain't a conspiracy, bro. It ain't a conspiracy. I'm trying to bring people together before fucking Civil War.
The fact of the matter is Donald Trump dropped the ball on taking action sooner. And
no, he didn't. Mike, don't tell your viewers that. He didn't drop the ball, bro. Nancy Pelosi was in Chinatown talking about, hey, everything's safe. During that, so why don't you say something about her?
You know why? Because the leader of the federal government got up there and said that he downplayed it. He said it wasn't that big of a deal.
The fucking leader of our country, man.
Dude,
everything.
Nancy Pelosi, you guys gotta look this up.
Comment was irrelevant, man. Shut up.
You're fighting
Me?
with 14.
Shut up.
No. This is nephew.
Don't talk about my best friend. No, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, talk about like that. Jerry, piece you up, bro.
Shut up.
All right.
Well, people scrapping in the
Y'all like go take it outside though.
God,
Kristen, I said the comment was irrelevant at that time. I wasn't calling him irrelevant for being young. I said,
Jerry,
come to kickboxing.
I'm not. Shut up. I'm not sparring. I'll stop it.
All right.
Anyways, and Elias, to answer your question, every single person you named is so who cares, dude? He has the fucking all the authority in the world. Donald Trump can come out and say, "Hey, this is what's going on." What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, our media.
Listen,
Mike, the media is against him. Mike, the media is against him.
He came out and said it. It's not the media, Elias.
Mike, the media is against him. You got Pelosi against him, who's not passing laws. You got to think about this, bro. Everything is strategic for this election. Whoever wins, everything that's going on right now is because of it. And if Trump wins, they're going down. That's all I got to say.
Question. How many total votes? How many total electoral votes are there?
270.
Oh, you're
270.
No, you only need 270 to win. It's more than 270.
There's more,
Which is-
but once you hit 270, you're Gucci.
Right, but what's the total amount?
I mean, what is it like of possible? Let's see.
Oh no, wait,
Fine.
Google it. It is 538.
27? What is it?
538.
Okay.
All right, so I do want to say this because I looked at the Chris Lieber stuff that Elias is talking about. One of the like conspiracy theories that I guess it was made in aid to kind of drown Donald Trump a little bit. And I'll put this on the screen too. It is that it's true that Harvard professor Chris Lieber was arrested for concealing funds from a Chinese lab connected to this part. Actually, that's the claim. I'm sorry, this is the claim. Harvard professor Charles Lieber was arrested for concealing funding from Chinese lab connected to the origin of the new coronavirus. What is true? Professor Charles Lieber was arrested in January 2020 for misleading federal authorities about funds he allegedly received from Wuhan University of Technology and his connection to the Chinese government-sponsored recruitment program. What is false about it is Lieber's arrest had nothing to do with the novel coronavirus, nor was the virus developed or manufactured by anyone.
Right, dude. Of course. I mean, and that's what's sketchy to me. It's like I think most Republicans stop at this point and go, who's fact checking the fact checkers? What if that's a lie? Or they might be telling the truth. But that's the fucked up part about the world we're living in right now. We don't have that like closure that we need. And that's why I think the media needs a replace and repeal, honestly.
No, nonetheless, I do. I mean, it is kind of like, okay, so like why did he receive the money then? You know, like if it's not for the coronavirus, I would like to know why did
Daniel, he got out on $1 million bond and the media was nowhere to be found, bro. And it's to me, it's very disturbing, man. You know?
Really?
Yeah, honest to God, man.
So did the cop they killed. Fucking, I don't want to talk about that though. You don't want to talk about that, do you? You don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about that, do you?
I love you, Mike. You're my boy. Love
No,
you too,
Jerry,
Chris.
I was in the conversation we were having at that time, that comment was irrelevant. So I was asking Danny to fucking minimize it so we could talk about the issue. And then we were going to talk about it after because Danny had it pulled up on the other monitor. Not that you're irrelevant for being young. So thank you. But no,
Glove up or
the
shut
fucking
up. Both y'all.
So
I mean, yes, like you can't, Elias, you can't keep playing like devil's advocate on Snopes because there's fact checks that say they're true about
I mean,
Donald Trump.
who died and gave these fact checkers the ultimate?
Nobody.
Like, oh, it's a fact checker.
Yeah,
He's so honest.
for sure.
We don't
For
even know who the fuck these people
Right,
are.
it just could be like Wikipedia. Like you go on and change anything you want. Right. I get it.
Yeah, to an extent. But I feel like they're all super groups, super PACs, bro. Damn, Chris. Like, what the hell?
Wow.
But,
I'm still my bed and the kids acting crazy.
all right, man. Well, what you guys want to keep streaming? You guys want to keep going?
I gotta put it bed.
Wow, yo, that professor was released on $100 million bond.
On a $1 million cash
$1
bond.
million bond. $1 million cash bond. I apologize.
I mean,
What about
the allegation was stealing money? I mean, what you gonna hold him on? He was only charged with lying about taking money. I mean, he wasn't like he was charged for murder.
Dog, he was in Wuhan when the virus broke out.
Bond, bro.
Hey, what you charge? It ain't what they say you did. Is what you can prove.
Shit, man. I mean, the media is nowhere to be found on this, so how can we prove it? I mean, it happened, Chris.
you got
I'm
released
not
on
an investigator, bro.
What was it? Did it have to do with the coronavirus? Find out on the next episode of Drowsy. Feel me?
I don't know.
I can't. It won't tell me anything past that.
See, like that alarms like you guys more than what I think should be more alarming.
Well, it's
about
important, Mike. That stuff right there, it's like a red flag of fuckery.
Like, how's that? Like,
I'm not saying. I'm not
I
saying
see this and it's like gone.
But I think
that
that
doesn't concern you.
No.
Like,
I'm saying. I mean, priority in me is how a cop got fucking released on $1 million bond for murdering somebody in broad daylight is more concerning to me.
For sure, but we know how he got out on bond. We know that all the racist assholes pulled together money to get him out. This we don't know who paid this guy's cash $1 million bond. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, bro, it was me. Whatever, dude.
And you know what the worst part is? He's teaching at another university right now.
He's a good scientist.
You guys know. I'm gonna tell you guys, Daniel. Me and you touched on this.
Where's he working?
Hey, Daniel wanted to talk about this about a month ago. The day that Jeff Epstein's brother came on the news and said that the doctor said that it wasn't a suicide and that it was a homicide. I got to talk to Jeff Epstein's brother, and he picked up the phone right away. So I think he's still alive personally. I think he's in. A lot of people are saying Santa Fe, New Mexico. Some people are saying he's in Israel because they protect like pedophiles and shit over there.
You really think he's alive?
That's crazy.
Fuck. I mean, dude, if you don't think he's alive, there's a problem. Because
what? No. I'm asking you. And what would be the benefit of him being alive? I'm just curious.
what would be the benefit? I mean, dude,
Why is he alive still? Why would he not be?
Who was on his plane, bro? Bill Gates, the guy trying to put our vaccines in right now.
Who was hanging out with him at fucking nightclubs?
Hey, Bill, back in the day, but they got into a real estate dispute on Mar-a-Lago. So that was back then. You don't, and if you want to go back to the past, we can, but it won't be relevant. You know what I mean?
Child molester, always child molester, right? Donald J. Trump.
No, tell that to Herbert the pervert.
That's so crazy. There's like no more news on after that guy got bonded out.
Right? And the media is nowhere to be found on it, bro.
Because we had a whole ass pandemic, and his only crime is that he lied right now, is that he lied on shit. See, everything else
a whole pandemic that we looked up earlier factually stemmed from Wuhan, China.
However, you know how many people have traces to Wuhan, China that are here in the United States?
Wuhan is like the Harvard of the United States. Wuhan's the nicest college in the whole entire country of China. And in my opinion, it's espionage. Did
he work at the lab or did he work at the college?
He started the lab.
Did he start the lab? Yeah. He started the lab?
He started the lab, yeah. That's what I'm saying, Chris.
He started that lab. Oh, whatever they said he did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. We can't ignore this shit. I'm sick of ignoring. That's why I can't fuck. That's why I'm not 100% in the Biden train. And obviously, the things I don't like about Obama, Biden. It's like
racist.
No, I'm not 100% on the Biden train either, but I'm 100% not.
Here's my thing.
That's America, bro.
Honestly, I've come to realize that Trump supporters, even with their crazy ass conspiracy theories all the time, sometimes they're onto something. However, they don't filter how much crazy bullshit they spit, so everybody immediately wipes that shit off.
I think balance is needed, Chris. I think if you're a Trump supporter right now, and that's why I do this, man. That's why I hashtag Trump 2020 and Black Lives Still Matter, because I don't want people to see each hashtag and feel like it's a fucking single thing you have to do. Put them both on there. Make everybody feel fucking like a country again, bro. It's about uniting, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, bro. Us being the more divisive we're being, at the end of the day, the more a civil war could ensue and fuck this country up. When we've had so much progress, it's disgusting what's going on right now. But we got to heal, man. We have to.
I will say though, like Trump shoots himself in the foot because I feel like along with the media, he's been a part of that because he's giving. He
does everything to
shit to bite on. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm gonna just point this out. I'm gonna point this out. Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin are reporting election day votes earlier. Absentee votes won't be counted and won't be until later on. So we won't, those electoral shit won't actually go out.
So we won't know Michigan, you're saying?
We won't know Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. That's a total of 46 votes. That's 46 votes. That's up and won't be given out till later.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
but I guarantee you, majority of the early votes are Democrats.
So if Trump takes Michigan, that gives him 16 more electoral votes.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Michigan's a big swing state this year.
Okay, there's a lot of swingers here too.
Yeah, for real. What time you coming over?
Oh man.
Hey, Art and Jake said 23 and Hayes. That's where they all hang out at. Now you would believe how many times I've been approached.
Really?
All right.
Swear to God.
You've been with a black man.
All right, let's address Jerry's initial comment now.
You leave Jerry alone. He's a 14-year-old kid.
I'm gonna adjust the. We can talk about it.
Damn.
Why?
Daniel.
No, I want him. He's a youth. He's going to be voting soon. I wasn't trying to do it to shit on him. So if you feel that way, I apologize, Chris, Jerry. I was just saying at the time it was irrelevant. We can get to it. So my thing is he's been in and you guys, I don't know if you guys were watching earlier, but I'm not fucking super pro Biden whatsoever at all. So I don't have things off the top of my head that I can say he's unpositive, but I can say the fact that he's been a politician for 40 years,
48
says a lot, right? He's done enough good and enough things right to continuously grow his career to get to where he's at, in my opinion. And that can go with anybody. But you can flip the script and say Trump's fucking literally fell from the fucking skies and decided to run for president and he has zero experience. There's no true argument there, but I think Biden has done enough obviously to not have run himself out of politics or get caught up in something like that's very, very firm in evidence to where he'd fuck himself. And I mean, Elias, very firm is what I like, fucking concrete evidence to get him thrown out.
Fair enough. Okay, I get it.
And that's where I sit on that. Like,
well, there's evidence, right? But like, it's just never reported or talked about like on the news. Like the shit that we just found out about the Chris Lieber shit. Like, when did we ever see that shit?
but that's not tied to Joe Biden.
But I'm talking about this shit, this dirt on Joe Biden too. Like that shit with him receiving the money was like what 2018, whatever.
Hunter Biden.
It was recent.
Like
So, but like we didn't know
but
that
what I'm
about
saying
that until election times. Like the
But
news-
here's also the thing: the
Right.
DOJ, and everybody else, like the Senate, they also investigated Joe Biden with some of this shit. Like Joe Biden has been investigated. There's no money trail. There's nothing tying him to any of this.
no.
No, there's a money trail.
Also, let me ask this question: no, there isn't. There isn't a money trail.
well, listen, when the money trail goes to your son, though, I mean, like
No. Your son's a grown ass man.
$1 billion
With no experience, Chris.
to pay your son that money. Like that's like how's
But
that?
at this point, we're talking alleged crimes. It's been investigated, and they came back with nothing. So at what point do we say when you as Elias, I'm speaking to you right now, as a Trump supporter who's for law and order, when the judicial system says, "Hey, he's innocent," at what point do you let it go?
I mean, I think we need to get our shit straight together before I could even answer that question. To be honest,
Do we trust the judicial system at the same time? Because like
No.
Jeffrey Epstein got caught doing fucking pervert shit.
Hey,
before.
I don't trust
they
any of
do.
those motherfuckers.
Hey,
bro.
the Republican side do. I'm going by what they
Hey, dude. Hey, once you know about Bohemian, like, dude,
because
it's
you
not
don't
like
see,
I'm a crazy Republican.
you don't
bro.
see
I
them
know
coming out and saying that
Republicans
these
are
cops are
usually, like,
guilty.
What?
You don't see when the whole Breonna Taylor, none of those cops got charged. See, Kyle Rittenhouse. Yes, he was just protecting himself. No. They trust the judicial system when it works out for them.
I mean, everything is like circumstance, and when we start judging our nation and our people just like them because they're fucking up, don't let one white person ruin it for all the white people. We're not.
I didn't say white. I said right.
No, dude, you're racist. Clearly, no, I'm fucking with you.
Yes, I
But
Have you seen my
no,
son?
I see what you're saying, bro. It's just one of those things where, like, you know, we could bring up Kyle Rittenhouse, we could bring up the Travion Martins, we could bring up the Breonna Taylors. It doesn't mean they're right. And people get so heated from the argument, they start doing crazy shit like rioting. And you know what? I can't blame them for being passionate. That's what being American's about, bro. That you have the right to be passionate and fight for what you believe in. And I got black people's backs when it comes to that. And my biggest thing is it's okay to vote for somebody else and still have their back without being a fool, I guess, without having to answer if you're a racist or not, because I'm a fucking Arab, bro. You know what I mean? It's like it may not seem like a lot, but I've been called a terrorist. I've been called. There's a lot of shit when I was younger that I got called, you guys. And I'm not black. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. But I'm not black. But I will tell you guys this much: I've experienced it to a point where I could kind of see where you're coming from. I could see how like negative it could be, but I never let it fucking ruin me as a character. I never let it consume me. I just kind of like standing up for what's right at this point. And I hope you guys respect that.
No, by all means, I still fuck with you the same. I was gonna walk with you at the Black Lives Matter march before you chickened out. But
Dude, I honest to God wish I would have went down in March,
you
bro.
should have went. Nobody was gonna fuck with you. You were fine.
You know what, man?
Except all the crazy ass Trump supporters there with their fucking guns and stuff.
No, I was gonna go march with Chris, bro, but it's unpredictable, man. Sometimes you never know. You know what I mean? It only takes one person to go, he's a Trump supporter, and start fucking attacking me. People are crazy right now. You know what I mean? So I want to say,
that's why you don't go to a Black Lives Matter rally with Trump shit on. Just wear
an American mask on. If I can't wear an American mask on to a Trump,
all right. So that's an assumption that you made because you would have been perfectly fine out there with American.
I hope I would have.
Why is it that people associate an American flag with just automatically being right wing? Like this is America.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's stupid.
But you
right?
think you would get attacked because you wear an American flag? This is nobody.
I mean, dude, the left is painting not black people, but the left is painting an anti-American portrait, and you gotta understand that.
How? What does that portrait look like?
It's ugly, and they're
what details are in that portrait? How are they painting it?
Anti-white people. It's obvious.
Wait, so anti-white people is anti-American?
According to not the left, but according to the extreme left, the leaders that have gone off the handles, absolutely. And I'll double down
how
on
is
that
the
too.
American flag of a symbol of whiteness?
I never said it was.
All right, so we were talking about your American flag thing. You were like saying like it makes it anti. People have to.
People are very emotional and passionate. It only takes one person to pick me out of a crowd. I'm a pretty well-known guy. I'm not the most,
but you're not white.
Popular guy.
You're not white. You say multiple times you're Arab.
It doesn't matter, bro. If I'm a Trump supporter, they're gonna look at that before I'm an Arab.
Well, then don't wear anything that identifies you as a Trump supporter at a Black Lives Matter rally. Is that simple?
Well, what I'm saying is, if I'm wearing an American mask and people know who I am, I mean, they could say, "Oh, that guy's a Trump supporter." And when you got a bunch of passionate people marching, it only takes one of them. One of the rioters or Antifa members
preconceived notion that you're just automatically going to get attacked on Hall Road with the 99.9% white people that were out there marching because you identify as a Trump.
Yeah, because dude,
those white people. Flag, man.
Hold on. So I was there. I was on Hall Road. So I parked at the bank across from Macomb Community College, right? There was a man standing out there that was part of some sort of militia group. He had 2 pistols on his hip and he had a fucking AR strapped to his shoulder. Not one person said anything to him. Clearly Trump supporter, clearly just there hoping shit doesn't go wrong. Not even from the area. I actually talked to him, asked him what he was doing here. He said, I'm just making sure people don't fuck anything up. There's like 30 of us lined up all along Hall Road. We're from parts of St. Clair and Genesee County.
Yep.
Nobody said anything to the guy. I mean,
Chris, back then things were hectic, but it's cool now. Now I don't give a shit. Now I'm down.
Here's my thing. Like people were like, "Oh, be safe," and here's my notion: it's fucking Macomb, bro. Like,
don't matter. It only takes a couple crazies to start a riot, bro.
No,
you know what I mean?
Not in Macomb.
They can drive out.
Man.
You see on Chris, you see on Twitter they're talking about starting a riot in St. Clair Shores that same day. That's why I didn't march with you.
And did what happened? And did anything happen?
It didn't happen, but a bunch of people were tweeting about it, and I retweeted.
Fuck about tweets.
Well, you say it's just Macomb. I'm saying it only takes a group of those people to start coming.
But they were tweeting about it. But did anything happen? No, nothing happened in the state of Michigan. Nothing happened.
Well, and I'm happy it didn't. I like the protest, bro. I'm not protesting your protest, and like I said, bro, to each his own. Things are a little bit different now, but while things are hectic and there's tension going on in the country, you don't want to take that chance. Trust me. It has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with having enough balls or not. It's just not a smart idea at the time. When you're an open Trump supporter, it's not a smart idea.
That's like me being wearing my college jersey when we go to a bar.
Yeah. So that's the narrative that Trump lets people create and lets his supporters have. And that's
the crazy Antifa people have, because black people are cool. Most Trump supporters are cool, but when you start mixing them in with racist Trump supporters and Antifa, you know, it gets mixed up. People don't know which side is right.
It's the fact that Trump doesn't shoot down shit like people running off cars on a fucking highway, getting up.
Mike,
what it has
they've
to do
been trying to run him out of office for 4 years. You're talking about
Elias. No, Elias. You don't understand what I'm saying. That's why people have that narrative. If they think it's because Trump condones this shit. He like enhances everybody doing this stuff. That's what the issue is, man.
You're right. He might to an extent, but not that extreme, bro. Not every time. I think if the media left him alone and do his job, everyone would be peaceful, bro.
All it takes is him saying the right fucking thing out of his mouth for the media to.
Everything they say, they flip the narrative, Mike.
Brother,
you can't say anything good, or they don't even cover it.
Elias. This man, video proof of what's going on, and Trump says they did nothing wrong. That's what the problem is.
Yeah, that was the media. You know what I'm saying? Like, he went on his own Twitter.
That's what.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not the media, bro.
They said this is a video of Trump supporters, which we all watched. It was a video of Trump supporters running off a Biden bus.
Oh, by the way, on the front of their cars, they had fucking bodies taped to them like they're running people over.
So does that mean every Trump supporter is like that, Mike?
No.
Stop. Because you're putting the blame. You're shifting the blame to Trump supporters. We're not talking about Trump supporters. We're talking about when Trump tweets in response to that the story is false.
Yeah, like I said,
we're talking about the guy who they're in support of, saying that the narrative is it's a false narrative. When we just watched the fucking video of it.
Right, but everything is perspective, bro. Maybe Trump's right. Did either of you guys stop to go check out the video and watch the whole thing and see if that narrative was skewed? Yes, they were Trump supporters, but all it takes is a misleading headline to to keep the narrative going. And that's why I use the word narrative so much. You got to hit him with
Hold
that
on.
fastball.
We'll play the video. We'll play the video to talk about narrative.
No, don't play the video. Find the source of the video. Find out what was happening. I'm not
was a random
disagreeing. The
person on
video's
the freeway.
probably real, Mike. I'm just saying you got to get the full story before you start jumping on their bandwagon. Because Trump supporters are good people. There's some shitty ones, but most of us are good people. Big facts.
I want to find out that we so
It's just go up to the.
yeah, here we go. Okay, hold on. So let me share. So we will fact check. This is USA Today. Fact check. Post about Biden-Harris bus incident involving Trump train. Missing context. Okay, cool. The claim several trucks flying Trump campaign flags escorted Kamala Harris bus through Texas. Presidential candidates are making their final pitches to the American people hours away from Election Day. As members of Democratic nominees, Joe Biden's campaign traveled to their final campaign stop in Texas. A caravan of trucks toting Trump campaign flags surrounded the bus. A Facebook post on October 30th suggests the action was
benign.
Escorting. Clutch that one. Escorting Kamala the new. Go ahead, get that one, Mike.
Huh? Braunfels? No, that's a city.
Okay. The post says the scene depicted it in an attached video. The person who created the post did not respond to the citizen. Oh, so they're saying they were escorting them.
Yeah. Okay.
Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction?
Yeah.
We're fact checking the news and seeing.
Okay. So play the video, please. Let's see this escort when the.
Wait, hold on. Explain what you guys read.
So on USA Today, there's
someone came out and said that those Trump supporters were actually escorting them through Texas.
They were escorting who through Texas?
They said that they were trying to escort the Biden bus through Texas.
Okay, what news site is that?
This is USA Today.
So they're it's just something in favor of Trump. They're saying that they were escorting the van, not not attacking it.
Yep.
So Trump supporters were escorting the Biden bus. That doesn't even sound right to me, but I mean other sites are painting a different narrative, right?
Especially when Biden canceled the last 3 stops in Texas that he had planned. So
well, I mean Trump, I think I don't know, man. I can't really speak on that. It's kind of a weird situation, to be honest. I promise I should be hooked on phonics. Yeah.
Biden won Hawaii. Big surprise. It's 223 to 118. However, it's looking.
All right.
They're saying it's going to come down to a swing state. It's going to come down to a swing state.
I want to see the video of the truck running the fucking car off the road. What I
We
was
just hit him in the back, really.
No, hit him on the side. What? Oh, that's the truck they did it, but you can't see it from this point of view.
So they weren't even okay.
Right here, watch. He's about to.
I don't see the bodies in the front of the trucks though, like you were saying.
They were in the front of the from the point of view I saw, like initially.
Yeah, on the first video, you saw the truck like try to ram them from the side.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to pull up.
That video, they were just driving aggressively next to them, but I didn't see anything that was like the proof in the pudding, you know.
Bro, we played it 5 times earlier. Elias, you act like you didn't watch it.
No, I mean I'm talking about the video clip you just played, bro.
Oh,
Jesus. Texas truck ramming Biden. It sounds like a porno.
You're such a bad you're a bad Googler, dude. I gotta teach you how to Google this.
Hey y'all, I gotta get off here. I gotta put the kids to bed. It's getting late. It's just late as fuck.
Yeah, damn, bro. We've been streaming for 3 hours and 21 minutes.
Joe Jorgensen 2020.
Yeah. I'll holler at y'all later. It was a good one. We gotta do this again.
Yeah, it was a good one. Love you guys, man. Thank you guys for having me on. Speakeasy Podcast, the best. The Black Umbrella, Chris's Corner. You guys already know. Take it, Daniel.
Oh, shit.
Let's get this. Oh, fuck. But, all right. I do want to watch this video.
All right, man. I'll see you, my boy.
Hold on, Elias. Watch this video with me.
Just gotta wait for this ad for Comfort Man.
I don't have YouTube, Red.
Speaking of ads, hey guys, buy our merch.
Speakeasy merch. I ordered a hoodie. I swear to God, I did.
No, you didn't, lioness. Oh, you did.
I did order a hoodie.
I'll give you shit. Conspiracy.
Zaxby's. So what video are you talking about? The original one of the Ram or no?
Yeah, this is fucking CNN. All right, here's this one.
Yeah, this is the one.
All right, sorry. Pause it and share it.
So this F-250 blatantly. What do you?
I didn't do that.
You hit space. What does that do?
I'm supposed to pause it.
All right. How about you go to not CNN?
Well, you guys go on YouTube yourself. I'm not watching another fucking ad. Hey, thanks for coming out, Elias. Thanks everyone for doing
Of course,
this.
my boy.
I actually learned some shit through this podcast. I came in like totally, yeah, it was dope.
Something to think. I learned some stuff from you guys too. I appreciate you having me on. I respect both of your points of views and opinions. Mike, sorry if I got a little bit heated. It's passion, bro. Passion is what drives America.
It's all love.
All love, bro. All right, my boys.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
Speak easy, baby. See you, bro.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, sir.
Check out Jared, Greg Graham.